Well, welcome to Clem Spillane Field, home of the Wareham Gatemen, where the Falmouth Commodores kick off the first of 7 consecutive games over the coming week. The Doors can make it 3 straight against the Gatemen in as many games so far this season and give longtime manager Jeff Trundy win number 500 across his storied Cape Cod League career. Good evening, everybody. Carter Bainbridge along with Logan Soforenko here at Spillane Field for another matchup between these two Western Division rivals. And Logan, the Doors looking to get off to the right foot today after they stumbled out in Yarmouth Dennis 2 days ago.
And that's lightly put when it comes to that doubleheader. 0-4 on the season in doubleheaders, but something the Commodores are thankful about. They're thankful that the doubleheaders are over, and they're thankful that they do not have to go back to Red Wilson Field. We talked about it in the open, how they were shut down by electric starting pitching. Both starters went 6 innings, and they combined with 20 strikeouts. So it's a new week. They won the week last week. They'll look to do the same this week.
And the Doors have been playing a better brand of baseball since they got off to an 0-3 start this year. But like you said, in 2 doubleheaders against the Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox, a combined 0-4 record. And the most recent stumbling block, losing by a combined score of 8-1 across 2 contests on Sunday. And now it's a new week after an off day yesterday, and the Doors now face off against the Wareham Gatemen, who they just played a couple days ago. And right-hander Matt Jasek warming up on the mound against this Commodores order that starts off with shortstop Alex Mooney leading off, Anthony McKenzie playing second base and hitting second, Colby Halter, the third baseman, hitting third, Jacob Walsh playing first and cleaning up, Corey Collins at DH hitting fifth, Andrew Pinckney in center hitting sixth, Drew Brutcher in right field hitting seventh, Jacob Cozart catching and hitting eighth, and Cross Factor in left field hitting ninth. And some familiar names back in the lineup once again, Logan, not by coincidence. The Doors are now down 3 regulars who went off to play for Team USA.
Well, the question is who's going to step up and fill that hole, because Braden Taylor in that doubleheader was the only source of life in the offense. And when he came onto the Cape, his first 2 games he went yard. The last time he was here at Spillane Field, he went yard. So they're going to miss him, but also defensively at third. He's made a couple of very fine plays. We talked about in the open Colby Halter playing third today, and looks like that's what we're going to see in the bottom half of the first inning. But like you said, short-handed is the best way you can put it today.
Braden Taylor, Jack Payton at catcher, and Maui Ahuna, the infielder, the 3 Doors who have taken their talents to Team USA down in Cary, North Carolina. So anyone's guess as to how soon those guys will be back. But in the meantime, Falmouth has trotted out a lineup that features some guys who played more frequently earlier in the season. And here on a warm night out here in Wareham, we're about to get things underway as Alex Mooney has trotted his way over to the right-handed batter's box. Here in the top of the first inning at Spillane Field, right-hander Matt Jasek on the mound. He leans, and the first offering is a check swing and a called strike, and we're underway.
Foul tipped into the midst of the catcher Burns is what home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa is saying.
0-1. Line softly to right field. Clark coming in and has to play it on a bounce. Base hit for Mooney to lead things off here in the top of the first inning.
Oh, take him any way you can, but especially when it's to the opposite field. They always say you go to the other way, good things happen. A little softly hit single fly ball that dropped in shallow right field. Doors got their leadoff man on, and Anthony McKenzie, who had a very fine night the last time he was here in Wareham, steps on up to the batter's box.
On McKenzie's last trip here, a 3-run shot in that eruption of an inning that the Doors had to come back in that game. They've come back from deficits in both games against Wareham so far this year. Mooney at first, and the first pitch to McKenzie. He squares to bunt, and it bounced off his elbow as he raced out of the left-handed batter's box. It's 0-1. So McKenzie, the switch hitter at the plate. Mooney over there at first base on a leadoff base hit to start the game. Went the other way to right field off of right-hander Matt Jasek, who just finished up his redshirt sophomore year at Indiana State. And now the umpires conferring to the right of the mound as Jasek circles around behind them.
I believe that's what they're talking about, is if it hit the bat twice, McKenzie could be called out here.
Well, some unfortunate luck if so. McKenzie bunted it what looked like right in front of the plate, and now they do call it a foul ball. But you're right, you also can't hit a guy running the bases with a ball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you always see guys leaping over it. So no harm, no foul for McKenzie, who has an 0-1 count from Jacek. Right-hander who just finished up his spring with Indiana State, made 14 starts for the Sycamores. Mooney at first, and the 0-1 pitch. There goes Mooney. McKenzie fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
They go with the sack bunt method with the runner going, and then on an 0-1 count, they go with the hit and run method.
So right away, trying to play a little small ball here in the opening inning. Top of the first here at Spillane Field out in Wareham. 0-0 between the Doors and Gatemen. Alex Mooney on first after a leadoff base hit. 0-2 the count to McKenzie. Jacek turns and fires. In there for strike 3 called. McKenzie sat down for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. First strikeout of the day for Jacek, and here's Colby Halter with Mooney at first and 1 down.
He whipped out the paintbrush on that thing of beauty on the outside part of the strike zone to the lefty.
And now Colby Halter, third baseman hitting third. Steps into the left-hander batter's box. First true lefty hitter of the day for Jacek. With 1 away, top of the first, Mooney at first. Jacek gives him a look. Now ready? First offering. There goes Mooney again. The throw by Burns to second is high, and the tag not applied. Mooney in with a stolen base, his 3rd of the summer. So Mooney into second base with 1 away. 0-1 the count. Called strike to Halter on the pitch. And the Doors with a scoring chance here in the top of the first inning. Runner at second, 1 down. And the 0-1 delivery. Taken down low and away. And the count 1-1. So the defense behind Jacek, outfield left to right. Windish, Evans, and Clark. Infield around the horn, Anderson, Padilla, Wright, and Roden. Peter Burns, the batter he made tonight. Defense straight up for Wareham, 1-1. Swinging a sharply hit ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Mooney rounding third as Evans comes up throwing, but it's cut off. And it's 1-0 Falmouth here in the top of the first inning as Mooney scores easily. RBI single for Halter. And the Doors are off and running here at Spillane Field.
Boy, that kid is having himself a very, very fine last couple of days. First at bats, always finding a way to get on via singles. This time he had a runner in front of him in Mooney. And the train keeps on rolling, 1-0 Doors.
And Halter also a stealing threat over there at first base now. 6 for 8 so far this summer. 1 away here, top of the first. 1-0 Falmouth on the RBI base knock by Colby Halter. Jacek turns, and the first pitch to Jacob Walsh is in for a strike. It's 0-1 on the Falmouth first baseman, who enters the day hitting .135, pair of home runs, 5 driven in. Left-handed bat against the righty Jacek. Throw over to first, and Halter back. So Jacek's going to have to pay attention to this running game tonight.
He's been very aggressive on the bases, Colby Halter, ever since he joined the team, quite frankly.
And he has not been caught very often, only twice so far. 0-1, he doesn't go, swinging a ground ball to the right side, through for a base hit. Halter rounding second hard, he's heading for third. Clark comes up throwing, but again cut off. And another base hit for the Doors, this time courtesy of Jacob Walsh. Halter makes his way to third base, and it's first and third with 1 out here in the top of the first. Already Falmouth leading 1-0 and threatening further.
We've seen opposite field hitting. We've seen balls that have gone up the middle. And we saw Walsh that pulled it right there. I'm going to say it again. Keep the train rolling. Starting to look like that Brewster game the other day. All those runs and hits back in the first inning. Only 1 run to show right now. Let's see if they can cash in with Collins up.
Doors had 4 in the first inning that day against the Whitecaps. And now Corey Collins at the plate. With runners at first and third, 1 down. Top of the first. Falmouth up 1-0. Jacek deals. Swing and a miss. Fastball blew it right by him. And it's 0-1 on Collins, who comes into the day hitting .105, but his last game against the Gatemen was a good one. A couple days ago, had both a double and a single out at Gov Fuller Field. Another left-handed bat. The last 2 left-handed batters have reached, Halter and Walsh. 0-1. Catches the bottom edge of the zone, and it's quickly 0-2 on Collins.
Collins, he had a very fine night against the Wareham Gatemen. back at home on Saturday.
Now trying to stay alive here with an 0-2 count, 1 out, runners at first and third. Doors threatening here in the top of the first, already up 1-0. And now the 0-2 pitch. Low and inside. Burns had to go grab it, and it's 1-2. This Jasik's third appearance of the summer. His last time out against Katuitt on June 21st did not go all that well. Exactly a week ago today, 4 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned, struck out 6 and did not walk anybody. Comes in with a 6.42 ERA on the summer. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a chopper to first base. Roden steps on first for 1. The throw to second goes there, and Walsh is out at second. And no run scores for the Doors. A double play. 3-4 it goes, and the inning is over. So an unfortunate break, but the Doors do get one on the RBI single by Colby Halter. It's 1-0 Commodores as we head to the bottom of the first inning here at Spillane Field. Campos, Windish, and Anderson coming right up for the Wareham half when we come back. Well, welcome back to Spillane Field here in Wareham, where the Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen are just underway. It's 1-0 Commodores, who put up 1 in the top of the first inning on 3 hits, singles by Mooney, Halter, and Walsh. Halter's of the RBI variety to plate the Doors shortstop to make it 1-0. So Falmouth striking early against right-hander Matt Jasik, and now left-hander Grayson Hitt on the mound for his 3rd start of the summer.
Had a very fine couple of outings. First one was back against Chatham. Second one was against Katuitt. We talked about it opening the door. Solid 0-0 record. Good slider, good breaking ball, but good high paint.
So Hitt coming into the day, 7 2/3 innings across 2 starts, a 3.52 ERA, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts, only 3 earned runs allowed. First pitch on the way to Campos is up high for ball 1 to the left-handed hitting Wareham DH. Hogan Windish, the left fielder, on deck hitting second. Max Anderson at third hitting third. Alan Roden, the first baseman, hitting cleanup as the 1-0 to the plate is a little bit low, and it's 2-0. Blake Wright playing second for Wareham, hitting fifth. Kellum Clark, the right fielder, hitting sixth. Ty Evans at center, hitting seventh. Brian Padilla, the shortstop, hitting eighth. And Peter Burns, the catcher, hitting ninth. 2-0 pitch. In for a strike this time. Fastball from Hitt, and it's 2-1. And the defense behind the Falmouth left-hander, outfield left to right. Cross factor Andrew Pinkney and Drew Brutcher. Infield after this pitch as Hitt turns and the 2-1. Breaking ball and a good one on the outer half to even the count at 2-2. The rest of the Commodore defense, infield around the horn, Colby Halter, Alex Mooney, Anthony McKenzie, and Jacob Walsh, and Jacob Cozart, the catcher tonight. 2-2. Got him looking. First K of the game for Grayson Hitt of the looking variety. And there's the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Campos, first K of the day for Hitt.
Well, very fine effort there to come back after falling behind in the count 2-0. And all of a sudden delivering 3 straight strikes.
So Campos, who does play a little catcher today, leading off and handling DH duties. Hogan Windish at the plate now, righty hitter. First pitch to him is a breaking ball that stays high. It's 1-0. The left fielder had a couple hits his last time out at Gov Fuller Field, but did have that costly error on that hit late in the game that gave the Doors the lead. 1-0 pitch. In for a strike, lower inside corner to the righty hitter, and it's 1-1. One out here, bottom of the first inning between Falmouth and Wareham. 1-0, the Doors lead. 1-1. Curveball a little bit off the plate, and it's 2-1.
Great spot, though. That's a miss you're happy with.
2-1 delivery. Swinging a ground ball to third base, right to Halter, who taps it and throws over to first a little bit high, but Walsh kept his foot on the bag. And there's out number 2 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Something we've seen this season with Walsh at first base, his footwork on that bag is fantastic. If a throw goes a little bit behind the bag towards the dugout, he adjusts and pulls it back. Also helps with that big 6-foot-plus frame over there as well.
And Walsh, who stands at 6'4", 220 pounds. Guy who has played some sure defense over at first, as the first pitch to Max Anderson is in for a strike, and it's 0-1. First 2 hitters for Wareham retired here in the bottom of the first at Spillane Field, and hit trying to close this frame out. 0-1 delivery. Again in for a strike, good fastball. Caught the bottom of the zone, and it's quickly 0-2 on Anderson, a 200 hitter entering the day. Righty bat, the lefty hit turns in the 0-2. Swinging a high pop fly right field. Brutcher going over to his left, has it under control and makes the catch for the 3rd out. And that ends the bottom of the first inning. The Gatemen do not score, no hits, no errors, no one left. They go down 1-2-3. Doors coming back in the top of the second. Pinckney, Brutcher, and Cozart, 6, 7, and 8 in their order. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field, still here in the early stages between the Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen. 1-0, the Doors lead it here in the top of the second inning, just getting underway as Andrew Pinckney, the center fielder and number 6 hitter for Falmouth, steps into the right-handed batter's box. 1-0 lead, courtesy of an RBI single from Colby Halter in the top of the first, and now the Doors trying to keep it going. Jasek turns and delivers the first offering. Down low to Pinckney. They appeal to first base umpire Steve Chris, who says Pinckney didn't go. And it's 1-0. So Matt Jasek, right-hander, back on the mound for inning number 2 for Wareham. He turns and deals. Catches the bottom of the zone, right at the knees for Pinckney, and it's 1-1.
Hinojosa likes that call in the low part of the strike zone. It's been consistent.
Grayson hit, got it quite a few times in the bottom of the first. 1-1. Check swing, boxed by Burns. They appeal to first again, and this time Chris says Pinckney did go. It's 1-2. The base is empty. Pinckney, the leadoff batter here in the top of the second. 1-2 count on him. With the setting sun here at Spillane Field. Infield, normal alignment, 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Pinckney quickly down on strikes. His team leading 17th of the summer, and there's one away here in the top of the second inning. And now Drew Brutcher coming to the plate. One away, base is empty, top of the second. But this time Jasek does retire the leadoff hitter, retiring Pinckney on strikes. First offering to Brutcher. A little bit off the plate, says Mike Hinojosa, the home plate umpire, and it's 1-0. Brutcher entering the day, hitting 147. One home run to his credit. 1-0. Swinging a line drive down to left field. Windish coming in to make the catch. Crouching down a bit to do so, and there's the second out here in the top of the second inning.
That's because he did not get a good jump on that ball. Luckily, he wasn't too far away from it. Two gone here in the top of the second.
So two away, bases empty. First two retired for Jacob Cozart, the Falmouth catcher, left-handed bat. In the number 8 hole tonight with Cross Factor on deck. Jasek ready, now deals. Swinging a line drive to left center field. Evans giving it a run to his right. It's a base hit for Cozart, who stays at first. With 2 outs here in the top of the second inning, the Doors have another base runner. Cozart breaking an 0 for 10 streak with that base knock. And Cross Factor coming to the plate.
Well, the last time he was here at Spillane Field, he had himself a very deep double that Trey Redfield thought was a home run. We all did with the way he left the bat, but with that wind, picking up right where he left off here at Spillane with Cross up.
Cross Factor, the number 9 hitter today. Top of the second inning, 2 away. Cozart at first. Jasek turns. First pitch to Factor is up and in. To the lefty batter, and it's 1-0. Jasek ready with the 1-0. And the pitch. Swinging a pop-up, out of play, back of the plate, foul. And it's 1-1.
Back here at the perch, we got to be looking out for those foul balls. Resting right on top of the Falmouth dugout along the third base line.
So 1-1 the count, top of the second inning. Cozart at first, 2 down. Jasek delivers. This time hits the inside corner, and it's 1-2 on the Falmouth left fielder.
It's been his spot this past week. Whenever him and Pinckney are in the lineup at the same time, and even Boyers for that matter.
Jasek looking over Cozart at first. And now 1-2 to the plate. Swinging a tapper off the plate, foul. Stays 1-2 on Factor.
There go those foul balls again with Cross.
And definitely a big batter here for Jasek. He'd benefit from retiring the number 9 hitter right here and avoid bringing around Alex Mooney, who is perhaps the hottest hitter in this Falmouth lineup right now. Singled in the first, later scored after a stolen base. Came into the day hitting 271. Factor trying to stay alive at 1-2. The pitch. Swinging a line drive to right center field. Evans going back, and he's not going to get this one. Cozart rounding second, he's to third. It takes him a while to pick it up, and now Cozart coming to the plate. No throw is going to be made as Cozart comes in to score on the RBI double from Cross Factor, and it's 2-0 Falmouth here in the top of the second inning.
Now batting the shortstop from Duke.
Hey, give some credit to some 2-out hitting right there. Cozart extending the inning, and Cross Factor not only extending the inning, but extending his at-bat right there. Fell behind in the count, did what he needed to do. 2-0 Doors.
Second double of the summer for Cross Factor. This time it plates a run, 2-0, and he stands at second with 2 down, top of the second. Alex Mooney back around to the plate, and Jasek dealing with a 2-out base runner in scoring position. He turns and fires, a little bit low, and it's 1-0 on the Falmouth shortstop. So the Doors, after 1 run in 14 innings out at YD, have already scored 2 in an inning and 2/3 here at Spillane Field. Righty Mooney against the righty Jasek, who turns and fires, swinging a ground ball. Nice pick at third base by Anderson, who gathers, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. Premium defensive play over there at third base by Max Anderson to end the inning, but not before the Doors get a run on 2 hits courtesy of Cross Factor's RBI double. It's 2-0 Falmouth as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field as we head into the bottom of the second inning between the Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen. The Doors off to a hot start today, already leading 2-0. They've scored 1 in each of the first 2 frames. RBI single from Colby Halter, RBI double from Cross Factor, and Grayson hit back on the mound. His first delivery is down low, in for a strike rather, to Alan Rodden, the first baseman and cleanup hitter for Wareham, leading things off in the bottom of the second. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Wareham. Hit takes a breath as he looks in, now turns and deals. In the dirt, 1-1.
Just like back in the first inning, the Commodores offense forced the starting pitcher to have 14 pitches in each inning.
Hit shaking off Cozart back at the plate, now his 1-1. Swinging a chopper to second base. McKenzie makes the throw easily onto first for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Rodden retired on a harmless ground ball.
Oh, it's so nice to see McKenzie in his comfortable position. Big middle infielder at Sam Houston State, back at second base, and he talked about how weird it was to play outfield. Hasn't played it since he was a kid. Very fine, routine ground ball. When we've seen a couple of those this year, especially over at shortstop where they looked routine, but there were some errors committed.
Unless I'm mistaken, this is the first time we've seen him play second base this summer.
Yeah, he played third one time.
First pitch to right. Is down low for a ball from Hit, and it's 1-0. Grayson Hit, the left-hander, off to a good start in this game. He sat down the first 4 hitters in order, now dealing with Blake Wright, the second baseman. 1-0 delivery is a curveball downstairs, and it's 2-0. Wright hitting 5th, hitting 167 coming into the day. Has popped a home run, but driven in 8. 2-0 delivery. Up high and away, and it's 3-0. So Hit, first real danger of walking a man today. Behind in the count 3-0 with 1 out here. Bottom of the second inning, bases empty. 3-0 pitch, just missed, and Wright trots his way to first. He flicks the bat towards the first base dugout.
Now batting the right
and he's
fielder
on
from
with a 1-out walk
Mississippi
here in the
State,
bottom of the second inning.
Had 5 walks against Chatham. Limited the walks to just 1 against Katuitt. Bounce back recovery, still got 1 out. A lot of ground ball double plays have been a big part in this year's defensive success and turnaround.
Well, Hit entering this evening, 6 walks and 7 2/3, has his first here now with 1 away, bottom of the second. Runner at first, 1 down, and Kellum Clark, the batter. Lefty-lefty matchup. Hit looking over at first, and now turns, and the first pitch to Clark is down low, 1-0. So Hit, who's been nailing the bottom of the zone with the fastball, has yet to really do so with that breaking ball. His 1-0 delivery. Came up and in and plunked Clark, who's shaking off pain in that right hand. He heads to first base, right to second, and the first hit batter of the day for Hit comes here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 straight batters reach, neither via base hit.
Going back to that breaking ball you were talking about, he was feeling that thing at Katuitt last week. But right now he has not thrown a strike since Alan Roden grounded out to that in that 4-3 fashion. So now he's just got to dial in. Cozart going out there to talk to him, and now they'll reset. Still got 1 out, so if this was nobody out, I'd be a little worried.
Now Cozart left the mound with that parting fist bump. And now Ty Evans at the plate, a righty bat against the lefty Hit. So Evans, who started his summer 0 for 11, since 4 for his last 7 at the plate, so he's heating up. 1 out, bottom of the second, runners at first and second. Hit checking the runner, now the first offering to Evans is in for a strike. Fastball in on the hands, and it's 0-1.
That's how you come out of a mound visit.
Good fastball, good location, and quickly a strike on Evans. The Wareham center fielder hitting 7th in this game. 0-1 pitch. Slow breaking ball, got the outside corner, and it's 0-2. And there, like you said it, Logan, change of speeds, locking some of these hitters up as we saw at Katuitt and as we saw in his first start.
Well, lefty on righty, throwing that slider on the outside part of the strike zone.
0-2 the count on Evans. Hit turns and fires. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Tricky hop for McKenzie as it goes over his head. Reich rounding third, and he'll score without a throw. And it's 2-1. Falmouth here in the bottom of the second inning.
I think the only way you can rule that is a hit, because
It's got to be.
that's just the worst hop honestly, the worst hop I've ever seen on a baseball field.
Dreadful hop.
That took about 8 feet. That's where the ball ended up going.
Looked to be a tailor-made double play, and then took a hop all the way over McKenzie, who leapt up with his 5'11" frame with an outstretched arm and couldn't come down with it. And now Brian Padilla, the batter, with one away, first and second now, still for hit in a 2-1 game, and it's 1-0 on Padilla. So Blake Wright scored, Kellum Clark to second, Evans over at first base with what's going to go in the books as an RBI single. 1-0 delivery. Swinging a foul straight back off the bat of Padilla, and it's 1-1.
I usually see with those weird hops, they change direction, they kind of eat up a fielder. You don't see them go 8 or 9 feet above their head.
Not over their head, usually off the chest or lip of the glove or sometimes the face.
And it was a rocket. High exit velo there.
It landed in shallow right center. And Wright scored easily. 1-1 as a swing at another ground ball, this time deep in the hole. It's short, and Mooney can't pick it up, and everybody's safe. The base is now loaded here in the Wareham half of the second inning, and this sequence reminiscent, Logan, of the last time we were here when Ike Buxton had so much trouble rolling those ground balls. Infield hits spelled doom for that Falmouth right-hander that day.
And that was simply because on back-to-back possessions, ground balls over to Maui Ahuna, they just beat the throw. No errors at all, just infield singles. This is a little different, though. Still in double play depth as you take a look around at Mooney and McKenzie.
So the base is loaded. The last 4 men have reached against hit with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Peter Burns takes a strike on the outer half. Lefty bat against the lefty hit. And it's 0-1. Trouble here in the bottom of the second. First jam of the day for hit. 0-1. Swing and a foul left side over our heads.
And you can keep that foul ball courtesy of Glenn.
They did have a grand slam just the other day, the Wareham Gatemen. Seen a couple of those on the Cape. Wareham, one of those teams. Chatham, one of those teams.
0-2 the count. 1 out. Bases loaded here, bottom of the second. 2-1 is your score. Falmouth leads the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And Burns down on strikes. Second out of the inning, and a big one registered by hit. His second strikeout of the day.
Ryan Campos.
And that one run you can live with if you get out of this inning with straighting the bases loaded. Be big time.
But now the challenging part of the Wareham order coming to the plate, starting with leadoff batter Ryan Campos, who struck out his first time up, lefty batter. 2 outs, bases loaded here, bottom of the second inning. Grayson Hitt trying to work himself out of a jam. Time call to the plate. Campos entering this evening a .296 hitter. Struck out his first time up. First pitch to him. Breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. So trouble in this inning started with 1 out. A walk to Blake Wright. Kellum Clark was hit. Ty Evans with a base hit. Brian Padilla with another. But neither of those hits were all that well struck. 0-1. A little bit high, and it's 1-1.
Well, Campos did strike out looking back in the first inning, so Hitt trying to replicate that result.
One and one the count to Campos. 2 outs here, bottom of the second, bases loaded. Hitt turns and deals. In the dirt. Corralled by Cozart, and it's 2-1.
One of those run-saving snags behind the dish for Cozart.
So the Gatemen, who came into the day second on the Cape in runs scored behind only Katuitt, showing off their offensive prowess here in their second time at bat. 2-1 your score. Falmouth leads. The 2-1 is a swing and a softly hit ground ball to second base. McKenzie waits for it and makes the throw in time to first base. And that ends things here in the bottom of the second inning, but not before the Gatemen get a run on 2 bizarre hits, and it's still a 2-1 game. The Commodores still lead it. We head to the top of the third. McKenzie, Halter, and Walsh, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Falmouth. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field after a long bottom of the second inning where the Wareham Gatemen plated 1 on 2 hits and left the bases loaded. We're back at the top of the third. Commodores batting, 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up, starting with Anthony McKenzie. Switch hitter batting left-handed against the righty Matt Jasek, who turns and deals down low, ball 1 to the Falmouth second baseman. So McKenzie, who was involved in that single off the bat of Ty Evans that took a sky-high hop over his head. Now at the plate, 1-0 is a swing and a ground ball, base hit right field, past the diving Rodden. And McKenzie on for the first time today, a leadoff single here in the top of the third inning.
Now batting the third baseman from
Hey, better
Florida,
than that three-pitch strikeout back in the first, but he saw the ball well the last time he was here. Getting himself out of a little bit of a slump, perhaps.
Now McKenzie, who entered the day hitting 172 with 10 strikeouts, made it 11 in the first, but now has a base hit to start things here in the third. Runner at first, nobody out. 2-1 your score. Falmouth leads Wareham, but the Gatemen just put up a run in their bottom half of the second. McKenzie at first, Colby Halter at the plate, number 3 hitter, who takes strike 1. Off-speed offering from Jasek, and it's 0-1. Halter today 1 for 1, had an RBI single back in the first inning. Jasek right-hander ready, throw it over to first, and McKenzie back. Jasek this spring at Indiana State, a 2.88 ERA at 97 innings. It's quite a few. 96 hits, 31 earned, only 9 walks, 80 strikeouts. Throw over to first again, and McKenzie this time back a little closer, but again safe.
Big lead over there at first for McKenzie.
So Jasek, a guy who is a control pitcher. He's ready with the 0-1. He deals. Off speed again, and in a called strike again to Halter, and 0-2 on the Falmouth third baseman.
He doesn't want those because that'll be pop-ups to left field if he attacks those pitches.
McKenzie has a stolen base in 1 try so far this summer, but he's not too much of a frequent runner. 0-2. Swinging a line drive hit down to right field. Base hit, it lands. McKenzie rounding second on his way to third, and he's going to be in standing. Colby Halter has himself a 2 for 2 day, and the Doors in business again here in the top of the third inning. Runners at first and third, and nobody out.
Well, McKenzie did not steal there, but because of his fantastic lead, got a great jump. Third base was on his mind the second that ball was in play.
And Jacob Walsh, now the batter at the plate, lefty hitting first baseman against the righty Jasek, who has now allowed 7 hits in this game in 2 innings plus. It's a 2-1 game. Falmouth already leads, and mounting a serious threat again here with McKenzie at third, Halter at first. Jasek turns, and his first pitch to Walsh is in for a strike, 0-1. Shadows starting to creep up on both batters' boxes. Jasek still in the sun here at Spillane Field. 0-1. Swinging a foul tip off the back of the plate, and it's quickly 0-2 on Walsh.
He tried to send that thing to the Wareham bullpen beyond the right field fence. Swing has so much force. Watching it back the past couple of days.
He's got the power to do it. Already with a pair of home runs this summer. 5 driven in. It's just a matter of making contact. The 0-2. In there for strike 3 called. Walsh quickly dispatched on 3 pitches from Jasek, and a big first out here in the top of the third inning. And Corey Collins coming to the plate with runners at first and third and 1 down in a 2-1 game.
Not happy with that call there. Jacob Walsh going back to the dugout. Another 3-pitch strikeout. Second one for the starter, Jasek.
Collins at the plate, another throw over to first, this time Halter back. So the Doors did have Alex Mooney steal back in the first inning, but they haven't really shown a lot of intention to run on the bases since. 1 out, runners at first and third. Collins at the plate looking for a fly ball here. First offering to him. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and in, and it's 0-1. Lefty hitting Collins against the righty Jasek, who pitched last summer for the Bourne Braves. He's one of the guys who came over with manager Harvey Shapiro. Pitched in only 2 starts, but one of them was a Game 3 of the semifinals against Katuitt. Was the winning pitcher in that game. 0-1 as Halter does go. He heads for second. The throw beat him. Halter gunned down, trying to steal second, and out number 2 here in the top of the 3rd inning. And we've seen the Doors do this before. Key outs in situations with men in scoring position and fewer than 2 outs.
Really try to get the hit and run going there. But getting gutsy with 1 out. Now Falmouth down to their last strike in this inning to get a run.
All of a sudden, McKenzie at third, 2 down. Collins still at the plate, and the 0-2. It's fouled off.
Right behind the press box and into that parking lot back there.
Collins putting the bat on the back shoulder, ready to go. The 0-2 again. Swinging a foul this time right side, past the Wareham dugout. And it stays 0-2 with 2 down. McKenzie at third, reached on a leadoff base hit. Halter followed up with a single. Walsh struck out. Halter gunned down trying to steal second. Here in the top of the 3rd inning with Falmouth still up 2-1, looking to add more. Collins needs a 2-out knock. 0-2. Checked his swing, and he did hold up down low, 1-2.
Fantastic take. Great discipline there, working up the at-bats here. 5 pitches in this at-bat. Trying to just extend. We saw the 2-out hitting back in the 1st inning. Or beg your pardon, the 2nd inning.
1-2. Too far inside, and it's 2-2. And that 2-out hitting that you're referencing, back-to-back hits. Cozart singled, Factor doubled him in with 2 gone and the bases empty in the 2nd inning. That was the 2nd run of this game. Falmouth up 2-1 now. Here at Spillane Field. 2-2. Too far inside again, and the count goes full on Collins. Pretty good at bat here, with a runner at third and 2 down here in the top of the 3rd. Collins ready, as Jasek leans in and fires. Down low and in for ball 4. So Collins, with a patient at bat, reaches with a 2-out walk, and runners at first and 3rd now, 2 down. Andrew Pinkney, the batter.
Yeah, fell behind in the count, 0-2, and then spoiled 2 pitches to essentially make it 0-4. Then drew 4 straight balls. Keep the inning rolling.
So the Doors, who have 2 hits and a walk so far in this inning, still looking to score. Jasek on the mound, first offering to Pinkney. Is off the outside corner to the right-handed hitter, and it's 1-0. Pinkney already today. Strikeout victim his first time up in the 2nd. 2 down, and Jasek deals. In for a strike, and Pinkney has been taking those all day. Jasek's been firing strikes. He has given up 7 hits so far in this game. Collins over at first, representing his first walk. 1-1. Broken bat shattered as a ground ball goes to 3rd. Anderson to his left to pick it up. The throw in time, as Rodden came down with it to beat Pinkney onto the bag. So the Doors threaten in the top of the 3rd inning, but they don't break through. 2 hits, no runs, no errors, and they leave 2. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning as Windish, Anderson, and Rodden, 2, 3, and 4, are due up for Wareham. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the third inning here at Spillane Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen. We've seen plenty of traffic on the bases so far today. Wareham has left 3. Falmouth has left 5 through 3 times at bat. It's 2-1. The Doors lead the Gatemen as Grayson Hitt fires the first pitch to Hogan Windish. It catches the top edge of the zone. It's 0-1 on the Wareham left fielder, hitting second, leading things off here in the bottom of the third. Hit turns and the 0-1 is a swing and a ground ball foul left side. 0-2.
Windish has been a victim of watching some home runs, especially with Falmouth the last time he was out there go over his head. That was the Alex Mooney shot on Saturday night.
He was out there in left field involved in a few key plays. Hit looking in, ready for the 0-2, now nods and delivers. Breaking ball stays high, and it's 1-2.
Not enough bite on that one, huh?
Not quite.
Didn't snap enough.
Hit's looking for that breaking ball to be a little bit better placed in this game. He hasn't quite had it under control the way he had his first two starts, as Windish swings and misses for strike 3. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the third inning. So whatever that was working well for Hitt.
That was a beautiful, beautiful curveball right there. Not a big break on it, but did just enough.
And had a very good hitter, very out in front. Max Anderson now the hitter, bases empty, 1 down, bottom of the third. 0 for 1 so far today, flew out to end the first. Righty bat against the lefty Hitt, who deals. Another curveball and another one that stays high, and that's been a little bit of the problem today for Hitt. He's trying to get that curveball down. 1-0. This one swinging a line drive down the left field line, base hit. Factor over to pick it up as Anderson takes a wide turn at first. And now he heads back with a 1-out single here in the bottom of the third inning.
Great effort there by Cross Factor, the left fielder for the Falmouth Commodores, getting that ball in. You heard the attaboys all around the Falmouth dugout. 1 on, 1 out here.
And now Alan Roden, the batter with 1 out, and Anderson at first base. Lefty batter against Hitt. 2-1, Falmouth leads as Hitt delivers. Swinging a ground ball foul right side. All the way down near the fence, and someone from the Wareham bullpen comes out to retrieve it. 1 away, bottom of the third. Anderson at first, 0-1 the count on Roden. Hitt on the mound, looking him over at first base a few times. As Roden swings his bat around at the plate and now gets ready. 0-1. Fastball up high, 1-1.
Roden grounded out in that routine fashion back in the second inning to lead it off. That was to McKenzie's comfortable spot. Nothing McKenzie would like more than turning a double play right now, 4-6-3.
1-1 the count. Pitch to Roden is a swing and a pop-up to left field. Factor coming in a few steps. Easy catch made for out number 2 as Anderson retreats to first base.
Or it's the inning of Cross Factor defensively, getting that ball back in on that single and getting under that routine F7. So see what happens with 2 outs now.
Factor's played all around the outfield this summer. He's played some center, he's played some right. Today he's in left. Has been involved in a couple plays, all made routinely. And Blake Wright, the batter, with Anderson at first and 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Falmouth leading the Gatemen 2-1. First pitch is way high and outside to the righty batter, and it's 1-0. So Grayson Hitt, who features primarily a fastball in the low 90s and that good slow curveball in the high 70s as his primary breaking pitch. Looks to have things working today. 1-0. High and outside again, it's 2-0.
Well, this was the first walk he issued, Blake Wright, back in the second inning, and it was on 4 straight pitches. Wright has yet to see a strike as the count's now 2-0 against Hitt.
3 hits allowed so far for Hitt, along with a walk. 2-0 is in for a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, there you go. Trying that outside part of the strike zone again with that breaking ball.
Anthony McKenzie shading him a little bit to his right, playing him as if he would hit it up the middle. 2-1 delivery. Swinging a pop foul back of the plate over the stands, and it's 2-2. Mooney playing a little bit deeper in the hole at short, at least back towards the outfield grass. A lot of open space over there on that right side. Falmouth apparently not thinking that right can push this the other way. 2-2. Swinging a tapper in front of the mound. Hit, picks it up, Fields, bobbles, now pushes the ball to first like a shot put for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So a one-out hit by Anderson, but he stays at first base. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 man left for the Gatemen as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Falmouth leading 2-1. Brutcher, Cozart, and Factor, 7, 8, and 9 coming up. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, you join us in the top of the 4th inning here at Spillane Field, where the Falmouth Commodores lead the Wareham Gatemen 2-1. Drew Brutcher leading things off for the Doors here in this frame against righty Matt Jasek on for inning number 4. His first delivery to Brutcher is in for a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. So Jasek pitched 4 innings his last time out. Now approaching that here, the 0-1. Swinging a softly hit line drive to left field. Windish coming in to make the catch as he jogs in, and there's 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning.
Well, Windish has gotten some interesting jumps out there. It looked like he was going to play that on a hop, then pulled his glove as if he were to reach on a ground ball back up to where he would catch it for out number 1.
1 away here in the top of the 4th inning, and it brings up Jacob Cozart, who singled his last time up to snap an 0-for-10 streak. Later came around to score the 2nd Falmouth run of the day. 1 away, bases empty, and Jasek fires the first pitch to him in for a strike. Fastball with at ease, and it's 0-1. A 1 delivery. Check swing, tied up Cozart. They appeal to 3rd, and Jeffrey Kinney, third base umpire, says that Cozart did not go. It's 1-1.
Looked like it because his body went that way, but the actual bat itself didn't look like it went around because we got the 3rd base angle as well. We got the same angle as Jeff Kinney.
Fastball up and in, staggered Cozart a little bit. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball well outside to the left-handed hitter, and it's 2-1. So the Doors with this new look lineup today. They had to say goodbye to Braden Taylor, Maui Ahuna, and Jack Payton, who made their way to Team USA following the YD doubleheader. 2-1. At the knees again, a strike, and Cozart didn't like that call. Kind of tossed his head back and took a long breath exhale.
He's been consistent with it, but that's not a strike. That's below the knees.
Cozart asked him about it. Now waving the bat back and forth, ready for the 2-2. Jasek comes set and deals. Too far inside, and it's 3-2.
Perhaps a makeup call. See, we don't have the best angle, but that was a location that Jasek should be proud of.
Jasek looked a little bit frustrated by that one that time. Now 3-2. Swing and a miss as Cozart slams the plate with his bat as he makes his way back to the Falmouth dugout. 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. Another K in the books for Jasek, his 4th of the day. and cross-factor the batter with the bases empty and 2 down. The Doors leading 2-1. Jasek trying to get through inning number 4. He gave up 4 earned in 4 innings his last time out, exactly a week ago today. First pitch to Factor is a swing and a broken bat ground ball to shortstop. Padilla makes the throw in time to Rodden. And there's out number 3 here in the top of the 4th inning. 1, 2, 3. The Doors go. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, Clark, Evans, and Padilla, 6, 7, and 8 for Wareham coming up. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, where the Falmouth Commodores lead the Wareham Gatemen with a score of 2-1 alongside Carter Bainbridge, today's lead play-by-play broadcaster. Logan Sanfranco taking you through 2.5 innings as Grayson hit on to work for his 4th inning. He'll face the right fielder, Clem Clark. Here's the first pitch to him. This is upstairs. They check his swing. He did not go as they appeal to third base. Ball number 1. Clark was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball's in there for strike number 1. Grayson hit with 3 strikeouts today. Just 1 walk. Count even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. Inside, that hit him on the shoulder as he twists inside. And for the 2nd time today, Clem Clark is hit by a pitch.
Well, we've seen hit with some spotty command at times this year. His first start of the year, he walked 5. Was pretty in control his last time out against Katuitt, but he's been struggling a little bit with location today. 2 hit batters, walked right back in the 2nd inning. That breaking ball of his, that out pitch, has missed upstairs quite a few times today. So I think his command has certainly been sharper.
Here's Ty Evans, the center fielder. First pitch to him, misses outside, 1-0 the count. We saw this in the Katuitt game in particular. Walks and hit batsmen, that's always trouble as they came around to score as the 2nd run and the 3rd run that would tie the game. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch from Hit. Did he go around? He did. The home plate umpire, Hinojosa, says yes, and the count's even at 1 apiece.
You don't want to give out free bases. I mean, they will come back to hurt you as they did against Katuitt. This Falmouth staff has struggled with walks this year. They've toned it down a little bit since early in the season, but can't be giving first base away.
Little pickoff move over to first, not in time. They're letting Clem Clark know that they're thinking about him over there. Clark at Mississippi State was 2 for 2 on stolen bases. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Catches the lower part of the strike zone for strike number 2. 1-2 the count. And even though sometimes it's not many bases stolen, if you're perfect, that means you know when to get that jump at the right time. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-1 ball game, 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Grayson hit. It looked like it was foul tipped into the catcher's mitt of Jacob Cozart. And there's one gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, there's the breaking ball we know. Had Evans out in front. A guy who singled his last time up on a ground ball that took about a 15-foot hop over the head of Anthony McKenzie.
So now here is Padilla. Here's the first pitch to him. It one hops Cozart. 1-0 the count. Padilla reached on what was a tough play by Alex Mooney. It ended up being an infield single. But Padilla today over at shortstop, hitting it to his counterpart. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Ooh, he took something off of it as he missed that one. 1-1 the count. Brian Padilla took a hack at it, came away empty. Padilla from UConn. He redshirted this year, has the count even at 1-1. Here's the pitch. That misses low again, 2-1.
Padilla, the newest Gateman out of this whole lineup coming into the day, only had 3 at-bats on the summer. He's now 2 for 4, including his single back in the 2nd inning.
It's always the ones that come in a little bit later that do a good job. UConn obviously making it deep into June for College World Series. The 2-1 is grounded right to Mooney. He gets it. Weird hop. Flicks over to second for 1. Throws over to first. Dug up by Walsh. He got him. 6-4-3 they go. It's an inning-ending double play, and stop me if you've heard that one before as we go to the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 the score as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Mooney.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Falmouth on top, 2-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. Alex Mooney, the leadoff batter, leading off this inning as well. Mooney had a single back in the first, grounded out to the third baseman Anderson on a very fine play back in the 2nd inning. Here's the first pitch to him. He lays off a breaking ball that misses low. 1-0 the count.
So this now officially Jasic's longest start of the summer, heading into his 5th inning of work. The Doors have let him off the hook a couple times already. Time for them to capitalize with a little more here.
The 1-0 misses low again, 2-0 the count. And that's always the theme whenever you see pitchers make their first start where they really go deep into ball games. You want those tail end innings to be the ones where you make them pay. Saw that with Grayson hit last week in Katuitt, making his longest outing of 2022. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. That catches the lower part of the strike zone for strike number 1. 2-1 the count. Mooney, who hit a home run at Gov Fuller Field the last time the Gatemen and the Commodores played each other, deals with the 2-1. And it's in there for strike number 2. 2-2 the count. It's the solo and the lone home run for the Falmouth Commodores at Gov Fuller Field. Big homestand coming up. 2-2 the count at the top of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Just gets enough to stay alive, and we'll do the 2-2 again.
Well, the product of that low strike being called for both teams is now the hitters have to protect. They know it's going to be a strike, so I think you're going to see some foul balls and probably some ugly swings taken to try to avoid taking a low called third strike.
5-pitch at bat, 6-pitch on the way. Here it is. High pop-up, shallow left field in trouble territory, and making the catch is Windish on the run. One gone here in the top of the 5th inning.
Now batting,
That is
second
the
baseman from San Diego
third
State,
pop-up
Anthony
that we have seen
McKenzie.
go to Windish out there in left field, and all 3 of them have not been routine.
He's had to race in and catch them basically underhanded each time. He has never been able to camp under a ball so far in this game, and there's a reason he's out there playing left. He's not the greatest defender in this league or even on Wareham, but he can play a competent left field over there and is a good hitter.
Here's the first pitch to Anthony McKenzie. It goes right by him. 0-1 the count. Made that error the other night, but he deals right now with this inning as McKenzie steps up. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. 0-2 as that one is fouled back behind home plate.
Another thing about this low strike is it's going to be harder for the Doors' taller players.
Absolutely.
Jacob Walsh, Andrew Pinckney, both 6'4".
Walsh already a victim of it today on a called third strike.
Drew Brutcher, 6'6". So with the bigger zones, more opportunity to call those.
The 2-2 is popped up, staying in play, and making the catch is Anderson by the third base dugout. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. Boy, the big theme has been either jam shots or off the fists. All these balls that have been put in play in these last couple innings have been anything but ordinary. When it comes to the nice piece of hitting we saw back in the first inning, quite frankly, even in the second inning for the Falmouth Commodores offense. 2 runs on 7 hits. Colby Halter has 2 of them. He has 1 run batted in today. He steps up. Here's the first pitch to him, and it's right down the pipe for strike number 1.
And I think we're seeing Jacek pitch his game. Doesn't have overwhelming velocity. Gave up 96 hits in 97 innings, so he gives up some knocks. Given up 7 so far today.
The 0-1 is in the exact same spot, 0-2. The count now.
But he's a control pitcher. 9 walks in 97 innings.
That's impressive.
Just wriggles out of trouble. Soft contact is the name of the game if that's how you're going to pitch, and he's been getting a lot of it off these Commodore bats.
Base is empty, 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch, it misses low and outside, 1-2 the count. Colby Halter, who's been one of the hottest hitters, came into today hitting .333, 10 hits on 30 at-bats, 11 strikeouts, has also walked 8 times. That is second on the team. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Did he go around? He did. Strike 3. 3 up and 3 down go the first 3 batters in the Falmouth Commodores lineup as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 the score as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field, where the Falmouth Commodores lead the Wareham Gatemen with a score of 2-1. Alongside Carter Bainbridge, Logan Safarenko with you. Great to have you with us on a Tuesday night, first of 7 straight days of baseball. All the way to 4th of July. Here's the first pitch to the catcher, Burns. And that's in there for strike number 1. Grayson hit on for his 5th inning of work. Ahead in the count 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Spoiled foul, 0-2. Grayson hit 2 batters.
And you can keep that foul ball courtesy of Glenn Hannington and his daughter Thomas.
4. He has been feeling it, trying to work around those walks. Trying to make it a 3-pitch at bat here to Burns, who struck out back in the 2nd. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. Did he go around? He did indeed check his swing. 1-2 the count. Burns coming into today hitting 188. Trying to lead this inning off on the right foot for the Gatemen. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Pitches in the dirt. Tag is applied. 1 gone here in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, hits made it look fairly easy today. The only inning of trouble so far has been that 2nd when he walked a guy, hit another, and then had 2 pretty bizarre ground balls that couldn't be fielded. That's a product of this surface, though. This infield has given a lot of the players trouble tonight on both sides. This playing surface, for whatever reason, has been giving off bad bounces.
So now here is Ryan Campos. First pitch to him. Lined into right center field, a base hit. Pinckney gathers it and fires back into the infield. It's a 1-out single for Campos. That is the first hit that we have seen since the 3rd inning for the Wareham Gatemen, as Hogan Windish will come on up with 1 out. Windish struck out back in the 3rd, grounded out back in the 1st inning. Have seen the Falmouth defense turn a double play. That was to end the 4th inning. Quite a few inning-ending double plays this season already. The lefty comes set. Here's the pitch. Misses low. 1-0 the count. Windish comes into today hitting .340. 6 runs batted in. Walked 3 times, hit by a pitch 5 times, and has struck out 12 times.
Windish with no double plays grounded into so far this summer. Here's a guy who really gets the good part of the bat on the ball.
The 1-0 pitch. He lays off. 2-0 the count. And we said this about Windish. He has the ability to do some great things in that batter's box. Great year last summer in the Plains League. Hit .370 this year at North Carolina Greensboro. Ahead in the count, 2-0. Here's the pitch. High pop-up on the infield. The infield fly rule is, in fact, in play as McKenzie gets the ball. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, if a double play is a pitcher's best friend, I think 1-out pop-ups with a guy on base are, I don't know, passing acquaintance.
Especially in the infield.
You'll definitely take him, and it's a rare instance of seeing some soft contact off the bat of Windish. He's got all the hit tools. He hits for average and power and has all the little parts of those skill sets that work well. He's a disciplined guy who waits for his pitch, but not there.
Here's the first pitch to Max Anderson. He fouls that one back right behind home plate. 0-1. Look out, Cars. Max Anderson flew out to Brutcher to end the inning back in the 1st inning. Then he singled in the 3rd and was stranded. Anderson from Nebraska-Lincoln, the Cornhusker. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses high and away. 1-1. Just like Jacob Walsh, almost hit 300 this year. Hit .299. Just that close. He's got the count even at 1 apiece. Hit trying to complete 5 innings for the first time this season. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low. 2-1.
And in the 3 times we've played Wareham, Anderson has hit 3rd all 3 times. And you've wondered why that was, because his numbers weren't there. But in his last 4 games coming into tonight, he has 6 hits. So he's finally coming around with the bat after just a brutal start to the summer.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. In the air to right field. Brutcher underneath it. Makes the catch. Grayson hit, works around the single as we go to the top of the 6th inning. 2-1 still the scores. Falmouth is on top as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field. Falmouth on top 2-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. Luke Beneke on to pitch for the Gatemen, relieving Matt Jasek. Went 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and walked 1 and struck out 5. Jacob Walsh, righty on lefty. Here's the first pitch to him. Spoils that one foul, 0-1.
This Beneke's 4th appearance of the summer. Actually had a start against Falmouth back on June 18th, 10 days ago. Went 3 2/3 and pitched very well. Only 1 run on 2 hits, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts.
Here's the 0-1. Right by him, 0-2.
Wasn't so lucky his last time out, though, on the 24th at Hyannis. Pitched only an inning and a third in relief. 5 earned on 6 hits. Pulled after 10 batters.
The 0-2 is fouled back behind the plate. We'll do it again.
Beneke, a hard thrower, mid-90s with the fastball, and you saw it on that 0-1 to Walsh, who swung when it was already in the glove, just about.
The 0-2 again. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is sent in the air to left. Windish moving back, and he makes the catch. 1 gone. And again, Hogan Windish out there in left, being very active. Now we'll bring up Corey Collins, the DH.
Corey Collins.
And what it tells you with a pretty left-handed heavy lineup so far for Falmouth is that they're late pretty consistently. If they're going the opposite way but the balls aren't very hard hit, just lazy flyouts to left, they're not really getting around on the baseball.
So here's the first pitch to Corey Collins. Beneke from the windup fires. Grounded right side. It's a foul ball down the first base line by about a couple of inches. 0-1 the count.
Collins, a guy that this Doors team would really love to break out. So far struggling with the bat. Had a 2-hit game the other day. But otherwise it's been 0 for against everybody else.
2 for 19 coming into today. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses up, 1-1. Collins, who played catcher at Georgia, is yet to play catcher this season. DHing today, he's been in the outfield left and right. Here's the 1-1. Misses upstairs, 2-1. Collins has come into today without a walk. Just see what happens here with the 2-1 count. Doors on top 2-1 in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch from Beneke. Popped up foul behind us. 2-2 the count. Waiting on deck is Andrew Pinkney. Beneke from the windup again. Here's the pitch to Collins. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Burns held on. There are 2 gone here in the top of the 6th inning.
Now batting, the center fielder from Alabama.
And you see this a lot up and down the Doors lineup today. They've got some old faces back in some familiar places, but only 2 guys in this lineup today hitting over 200. It's Mooney and Halter. The rest under the Mendoza line.
Here's the first pitch to Pinkney, and misses low and in. 1-0 the count.
By no means does that number alone mean that these guys are bad hitters. Far from it. They're all here for a reason, but team-wide slumps are tough.
Here's the pitch, grounded right side, right towards us, and it actually gets on our porch. Keep that thing. Look at that thing. Throwing it off to everybody, no one's seeing it. Not at the Gov Fuller Field. We have a few fans that are happy we got the ball. 1-1 the count. Day number 2 here on the perch. Here's the pitch. Misses low and outside, 2-1. Talked to our beat writer, Tommy Mumma. He said he had the opportunity to get the ball. You had a ball pregame. He gave it back. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, and they appeal over to first. Pinkney did not go around. 3-1 the count.
Tommy's just trying to act like he's been here before. He has, here last summer.
3-1 the count. Pinkney trying to extend this inning. Here's the pitch. In the air to left, off the end of the bat. Windish underneath it. He makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The last 10 Commodores have been retired in a row. 2-1 the score as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome to Spillane Field, bottom of the 6th inning. Falmouth on top 2-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. Grayson Hits Day is done. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 1, struck out 5, hit 2. He yields way to Caleb Corbett, the right-hander from Louisville.
Corbett making his 2nd appearance of the summer, and he's probably wondering when he gets to face someone else other than these Gatemen. He pitched against Wareham just 3 days ago. In that comeback victory for the Doors at Gov Fuller Field, Corbett went an inning and a third, gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits, struck out 1, and 8 batters faced. He's a recent addition to this roster. Came over from the University of Louisville, where he pitched in 20 games. 8.10 ERA in 23 and a third innings. 10 walks, 24 strikeouts, so you like that ratio, but he was bitten a little bit out with the Cardinals by the long ball. 8 home runs in 23 and a third. Opponents hit 320 off of him. He features a low 90s fastball and a slider in the low 80s as his primary breaking pitch.
Well, for the first time this season, we've seen Grayson hit go the distance to qualify for a win. 4 against Chatham, 4 2/3 against Katuitt. 5 completed, but still just a 2-1 game. Prettier night than the last time we were here at Spillane Field. Alan Roden leads things off for the Gatemen. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for strike number 1. Caleb Corbett trying to keep this game in Falmouth's favor. Ahead in the count, 0-1. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 1-1. Roden coming into today, 2-11 on the year, 4 for 19, 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in, has only walked once. Struck out twice. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That is in there for strike number 2, 1-2 the count. Roden today grounded out to the right side, 4-3 back in the second, and flew out to left back in the third to cross factor. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And it looks like that hit his hands. And indeed it did. It hits him. It is a leadoff hit batsman for the Wareham Gatemen. That's the 3rd one from the Falmouth pitching staff. 3rd hit batsman. Only seen 1 walk, but that brings up Blake Wright.
3 hit batters today for the Gatemen. Unusual for the Falmouth pitching staff. It usually doesn't do this too much.
And it usually doesn't do anything good when that happens. Shadows all on the gray infield here at Spillane Field. Here's the first pitch to Wright. That is in there for strike number 1. And this has been a very all-over-the-place strike zone tonight from Mike Hinojosa behind home plate.
And it's favored the pitchers. A lot of times we've seen hitters kind of stand straight up or look back. They have seemed surprised by quite a few calls.
Pickoff play over to first, not in time, and they actually got Roden to rock towards second base and then go back over to first, and that's usually a recipe for a runner getting picked off when you get him to lean towards the other bag.
Roden can steal a little bit, had 9 swipes at Creighton this spring.
Here's the pitch as it's spoiled foul out of play. And there are indeed cars there. 0-2 the count. Grayson hit 12 pitches back in the first, 23 in the second, 14 in the third, 11 in the fourth, 12 in the fifth. 6 pitches here from Corbett in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pickoff over to first again, a little bit closer, but not at time. And again, they get Roden to rock towards second base, then go back over to first. Very fine pickoff move from Corbett.
That one was a photo finish.
May need some staff there to look at it. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul. We'll do the 0-2 again. And for the second time today, we've seen a foul ball right behind home plate hit the bat twice. It came off the ground and hit the bat for a second time. That happened to Anthony McKenzie back in the early stages of this game, which feel like not that long ago. We're almost in the 7th inning. Hour and a half of play right here.
And this one grooving right along.
3 pitch at bat right here. Pitch number 4 on the way. And a little cross up there, misses outside. 1-2 the count. Saw Jacob Cozart actually had to go to his knees, slide to his right, and essentially go into a block.
He's got a liver arm on the mound now and a little bit less in control than Grayson Hitt was through 5 innings today.
Here's the pitch. Grounded, foul down the third base line. Very fine at bat worked here by Blake Wright. Blake Wright drew the first walk back in the second inning, and also grounded out to Grayson Hitt back in the the third inning.
This is a key batter for Corbett, though. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but we're getting into the late stages of this game. He's got to get right out here and hope Roden doesn't advance. It's a one-run game. The Gatemen have only so many more outs. They're not really a running club. You don't want to put 2 on with nobody out.
1-2 the count now. Here's the pitch. Foul back behind home plate. We'll do it again. 6 pitches in this at bat. Count 1-2 only. As the second baseman from Clemson, who hit .349 this spring, trying to do some damage here for the Wareham Gatemen offense with their leadoff batter on over at first. Corbett comes set. Another pickoff play over to first, even closer but not in time. And I don't even think it could get any more close than that.
Now, this is a tough spot for Corbett to be in, because not only does he have to worry about Roden over at first base, but Wright has already walked once today. He has now a team-leading 11 on Wareham. So the average not there, only hitting .167 coming into today, but he's been patient.
Here's the pitch. Another foul ball. And this is starting to sound eerie familiar to the late stages of game number 1 here at Spillane Field. A lot of foul balls. No wind here, though. I mentioned on Saturday was the coldest game the Doors had played this season, and it had the most wind. 7 pitches in this at-bat, worked by Blake Wright. The infielder from Clemson trying to win the battle. Here's the pitch. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. He indeed does win that battle. And there are 2 on with nobody out for the Wareham Gatemen.
So far, at bat of the day to Blake Wright here in his 3rd trip to the plate. He's now 1 for 2 with a walk and a key hit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You're a whole lot more likely to play to run with runners at first and second and nobody out than you are runner at first and 1 out, or if you get into a double play.
Well, nobody out here, and that double play could be a huge part of the defensive game right here. Very fine at bat, as you mentioned. It's Clem Clark, who has been hit by a pitch in both of his at-bats. Has a runner in scoring position. Wareham has stranded the bases loaded already today. They have stranded 5. They have 2 on here. Here's the first pitch to Clark. It misses low, 1-0 the count. Saw Cozart, the catcher, go talk over to Corbett. Make sure they're on the same page, as this is getting very interesting here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Roden at second, Wright at first. Here's the pitch. High fly to left, twisting foul out of play. As it nearly went in through the uprights for 3 points down the left field line. 2 goalposts here at Spillane Field. The one cool part of having a football field unistadium is you have stands out there beyond left field that can catch some home run balls. 1-1 the count. Clark the batter. Here's the pitch. That misses low and outside. 2-1 the count. And the bullpen down there for Falmouth starting to get a little active. They got to be careful here. 2-1 the count. Clem Clark from Mississippi State. Here's the pitch. Grounded right side, base hit into right field. Here comes Roden. The throw from Brutcher goes into home plate, not in time, and the game is tied at 2. Wright advances over to third, and Clark stays put over at first base, and they're at the corners with nobody out.
Well, Corbett wasn't especially sharp his first time out this summer against these same Gatemen. And maybe so far it appears that they just have his number. 3 straight hitters reach here in the bottom of the 6th after Corbett came in for hit. And now we've got a brand new ball game, knotted up at 2.
And for the third outing, Grayson Hitt will have to walk away from today 0-0. And we'll see if we see a pitching change, and indeed we will. Caleb Corbett unable to get an out. We'll see who the Falmouth slinger is when we come back. Looks like coming in, it looks like Ryan Slater. But we will give you an update when we return. 2-2 ball game as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field in a now tie ball game. Caleb Corbett yields to Ryan Slater, the big righty out of Florida. Both runners belong to Corbett. Wright's over at third, Clark over at first. Ty Evans, the batter. Here's the pitch to him. Cut on and miss, strike one. 0-1 the count.
I'm outing to forget for Caleb Corbett. Hit batter in 2 straight singles. Had him pulled after the 3-batter minimum.
So it's Gator on Gator right here. Florida on Florida matchup. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That misses outside. 1-1. Man, fantastic spot there from Slater.
I don't know about you, but just this guy's build and just the way he looks and throws kind of reminds me of a right-handed Max Fried.
Let's see that Max Fried curveball then. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. High fly ball deep to left field towards the pole. If it's fair, it's gone. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Ty Evans. It's now 5-2 Wareham. And Evans coming around third, talking to Colby Halter, his teammate at Florida. And there are still nobody out.
Well, that's a crying shame, not just because Grayson Hitt's not going to get the win in this game no matter what, but that Slater allows first home run of the season for him at a pretty bad time. Late innings here.
First pitch to Brian Padilla misses low. 1-0 the count. Padilla grounded into a double play, and here's the pitch. That's in there for strike number 1, 1-1 the count, and this is an inning that could have no end. 4 runs, still nobody out. Here's the pitch to Padilla. He chases, 1-2 the count.
And that's just Wareham's 4th home run of the summer. They came in it today as the team with the fewest number of long balls.
The 1-2 pitch, foul tipped into the mid from Cozart. And there's now 1 gone. Big strikeout there from Slater.
Now batting the catcher from Boston College, Peter Burns.
So that's going to bring up Burns. Nice little reception there from the Wareham Gatemen fans as that home run was hit. And as you mentioned, partner, haven't seen too many of those.
First extra base hit of the summer for Evans.
Ground ball right side, McKenzie. Can't make the play, it gets under his legs. The weird hops continue. And it will be an E4 on McKenzie.
Now batting
And here comes the top of the lineup in Ryan Campos.
Now, this is a really difficult inning for Falmouth, and when you're 5-8-1, this is just the way things go sometimes. But this surface tonight has been trouble. It looks different at first glance. We were told early on our first trip here that it functions the same. It's just a different color. It's gray dirt compared to the classic brown on the mound and at the plate. But tonight, this surface has been really rough and unpredictable for the infields.
Here's the first pitch to Campos. Cut on and missed, nothing in 1. And regardless of the errors and all that, that big 3-run bomb off the bat of Evans opens this game up just a little bit as we head to the tail end of it. A long bottom of the 6th inning, in which Caleb Corbett was the first pitcher. 0-1 the count to the leadoff man. Here's the pitch. Misses low and inside, 1-1.
This game not unlike the one we saw here our first trip. Doors were down earlier in that game, came back with a big 6th inning of their own.
By as many as 3 runs.
With a 3-run homer.
1-1 the count, and here's the pitch. Runner goes, ground ball towards Halter. He gathers, fires over to first, tough throw. Walsh can't make the pick, and moving over to third is Peter Burns. We'll see who they rule the error on, and it's going to be an E5 on Halter.
Now batting the left fielder from UNC Greensboro,
And
Hogan
the
Windish.
Inning continues, and a very powerful bat in Hogan Windish comes up to the batter's box.
This is not the guy you want to face.
Windish, who has not seen anything under 300 in his college career batting average. Runners at first and third. Burns at third, Campos at first, both reaching on errors. Here's the pitch. Windish misses that one. 0-1 the count now.
So Falmouth kind of letting things get unspooled here in the bottom of the 6th. They came in it today with the worst defense in the Cape League with 21 errors and now tack on 2 more.
And they've been playing some fine defense these past couple of games. Uncharacteristic. 0-1 the count to Windish. Pickoff play over to first. Not in time. And you could hear, get the throw back, and if Halter took off, you hear 3-3 over and over because they knew Burns was going to third base. Runners take their lead. Slater comes set. Here's the pitch. Windish takes ball 1 outside. 1-1 the count.
And this is a guy who knows he can afford to wait, as he does so well. 40 walks and 55 starts out at UNCG. 340 hitter. So he knows what this strike zone is like.
Here's the pitch from Slater. That's the inside part of the strike zone for strike number 2. 1-2 the count. And something Slater needs is not only that second out, he wants a second strikeout. Find a way to retire him because anything in the outfield scores Burns. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, 2-2. Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen both entering today at 5 wins, 8 losses, and 1 tie. Right now in the bottom of the West Division. Campos takes his lead over at first. Slater comes set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High drive into left field. Factor moving back, makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Burns. It's a sac fly for Hogan Windish. It's now 6-2 Wareham. And there's Mario as he completes another level.
Well, Corbett started this inning, but he's not really the GOAT for this game because Slater has had problems of his own. We've definitely seen him sharper in the past, his first two outings, particularly against Katuitt back on the 22nd, 2 1/3 of scoreless, hitless relief. Today, the fastball and the slider start fooling a lot of bats.
Here's the first pitch to Anderson. Max Anderson represents the 9th batter in this inning. And unofficially, that run that's scored is an unearned run. 0-1 the count. Max Anderson, a pair of flyouts and a single. Here's the pitch. Misses low, 1-1 the count.
And it is harsh, you know, for Slater because it is difficult to work around back-to-back errors, but that one big swing by Ty Evans is what's really the difference right now.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses low and in. 2-1 the count. Commodores saw Wareham on Saturday. Came from behind when they were trailing by 4. Trying to do the same thing here. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is in there for strike number 2. And usually, as the count is now at 2-2, usually I try to jump in and say if it's a strike, but the strike zone today, we've had to wait a little bit. Has a nice little delay, a little windup, and then goes into it. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes, foul ball. Right behind home plate. We'll do it again. 5-pitch at bat here worked by Max Anderson, the third baseman from Nebraska. Was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year back in 2021. Made a very fine play defensively to rob Mooney of a base hit in the early stages of this game. Here's the 2-2. Got him looking. So the inning is over. 6-2 is the score as the Gatemen get a nice reception from their crowd. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, Falmouth now trailing 6-2 as you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Well, you join us back at Spillane Field here between the Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen. Wareham leading 6-2 here on this Tuesday night. Carter Bainbridge along with Logan Safarenko as Luke Beneke deals the first pitch to Drew Brutcher. And it's in for a strike, 0-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Doors. Beneke on for inning number 2. He turns and deals, swinging a line drive into center field. That splits the gap. Brutcher on his way to second. He turns the Jets on. The throw back in a little late. And Brutcher in with a stand-up double to start things here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, that's how you do it. You got to counter. Game's far from over. Just a 4-run deficit. We've seen the Commodores come back from that deficit before. Trying to do it again. And Cozart, who has been swinging a very fine bat here at Spillane Field, and also going in a little tangent right here to see Harvey Shapiro maybe make a pitching change. The lights are not on yet. And this is probably a time in the day where the lights should be on, as the vision is starting to get a little wonky, as Beneke looks like his day is done.
The only place left on the diamond with a sun field in play is right. Everywhere else is in the shadows now. So 6-2, Wareham leads it, and if you missed the bottom of the 6th inning, you missed quite a bit. The Gatemen got 5 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. The big blast, a 3-run home run off the bat of center fielder Ty Evans that broke the tie, made it a 5-2 ball game. Gatemen later tacked on another run on a sacrifice fly by Hogan Windish, and that's where things stand now. So Luke Beneke's day is done, Logan, as you alluded to, after the leadoff double by Brutchers. So he's done after an inning plus. He sat down the doors 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, but now his lone hit allowed of the day.
Snaps a streak for 10 retired in a row for the Falmouth Commodores. Something they needed to go in the other direction.
So the new thrower into the game for Wareham,
We have a pitching change
as we
brought to
peer
you
in
by
at the
Gatemen
mound,
Player.
and
Now
Jacob
pitching
Cozart coming to the plate.
Number 12, Jackson Fristow.
Jackson Fristow back on the mound again against the Doors. He just pitched against Falmouth in that game they played out at Gov Fuller Field just a few days ago. So another right-hander trying to keep things at bay, which is what the Gatemen could not do out at the Gov. They tried to hold on to that 3-0 lead and eventually lost 6-4.
Luke Beneke's final line, 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. He only faced 4 batters, but coming into today, Fristow 1 game. That was that game you mentioned. 2 runs allowed, no earned. Walked 2, and comes in with a 0 ERA.
So he'll be dealing with Brutcher at second base. Fristow, in his lone appearance so far this summer, no outs recorded, 2 walks, 2 runs, 1 earned on no hits. He had trouble with control against the Doors when he came in. Hit the first batter, Colby Halter, then walked Braden Taylor and Jack Payton before exiting the game after 3 batters. So a couple runs came around to score on his credit. He'll be trying to record his first out of the summer here. Fristow features a fastball, sometimes puts some cut on it and takes some velo off. Came over after a spring at Mississippi State, where he pitched in 24 games, 21 of them in relief, 7.96 ERA and 37 1/3 innings, 14 hits, 33 earned, 19 walks, struck out 48. So he's got good stuff.
Did you mention the other night, was he on one of the no-hitters
He was.
for Mississippi State with Mikey Tepper?
He was back on March 7th of 2021.
That's the natty year.
4 pitchers, Fristow one of them, and current Falmouth Commodore Mikey Tepper another one. First no-hitter for that program since 1985. So a couple guys in the ballpark who were part of that. Nobody out here, top of the 7th, with Brutcher at second after a leadoff double. Jackson Fristow now in the game, trying to hold the Doors off, and he starts things with left-hander Jacob Cozart at the plate. 1 for 2 so far today. Lefty bat against the righty Fristow. He deals. Swinging a pop-up very high to the left side, out of play. Well over the grandstand seats, and it's 0-1 on the Falmouth catcher.
Well, Cozart had that single back in the 2nd inning. His last at bat against Wareham, he had an extra base hit. Picked up right where he left off, but also struck out on a 6-pitch at bat back in the 4th inning.
Fristow, tall right-hander, standing at 6'4", turns and fires. Swinging a foul tip into the glove, and it's 0-2. Cozart, entering the day, was hitting .087. Just a really tough start for the member of the North Carolina State Wolfpack, but today has a single to his credit, his 3rd hit of the year. But now down on the count, 0-2. Fristow looking back at Brutcher, taking his time, now deals. High and in, and it's 1-2.
And he was ready to swing that bat as well. But obviously saw that that pitch was nowhere near hittable as it almost hit him.
Now Cozart taps the bat with the plate, swinging it back and forth at some half swings. Fristow peering in, trying to get the sign. In a 6-2 ball game, Wareham leads it here at Spillane Field. Nobody out, Brutcher at second here in the top of the 7th inning. So Falmouth with 9 outs to play for. They need at least 4 runs to avoid another defeat that would send them back to last place in the Western Division. Fristow looking Brutcher back, now the 1-2. Breaking ball a little bit off the outside corner, and it's 2-2.
And you could see the grip of that breaking ball when, as soon as he brought it out of his glove going into his motion, way before his release. The beauty of being on top of a dugout.
And that's probably the most unique vantage point across the Cape League. We've been around so far. We've been to Harwich, been to Hyannis, a couple trips out east, but nothing like this. 2-2. And now he looks back, Brutcher to second. Good move, whirling around on the mound to face the Falmouth right fielder, Drew Brutcher, who's still at second base after that leadoff double off of Luke Beneke. It caused a pitching change, and now Fristow trying to record his first out here in the top of the 7th. Cozart at the plate. Fristow deals. Swing and a pop-up on the infield. Anderson and Padilla both over, and it's Padilla at short to make the catch for out number 1, and Brutcher cannot advance.
Now batting, the left fielder from Oklahoma City University.
So there's the first out in 2 appearances for Fristow. A soft pop-up off the bat of Cozart. And Cross Factor, the batter, with a runner at second base and 1 down.
Well, we saw this back in the second inning. Had a run-scoring double. They have to pull that card out of his pocket here.
1 out, Brutcher at second. 6-2 your score, top of the 7th inning. Wareham leads the Commodores. The Doors trying to mount a comeback here. Fristow taking his time, now delivers. First pitch to Factor is low for ball 1. So we've seen a lot of low strikes today called by home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa, but that not one of them. Factor lefty bat at the plate. On deck, top of the order with Alex Mooney. Righty hitting shortstop, who's 1 for 3 today. 1-0. Fastball nicked to the inside corner. And it's even at a ball and a strike. So Brutcher's been hitting the ball better lately. Got on base 3 times the last time the Doors played Wareham, a single and 2 walks. Was a part of that comeback. He stands at second. And now the 1-1 pitch to Factor. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball right by him. And it's 1-2.
And those kind of fastballs look even more impressive when you have a cross factor like that that's taking a hack that he's trying to send it out of the ballpark.
Factor probably trying to make it 6-4 right there, but no dice, and it's 1-2. Now Fristow turns, and the 1-2. Fouled straight back. Factor just got a tiny piece of it, and it stays at 1-2.
That hit that we saw from Brutcher, not only did it break that streak of 10 retired in a row, first hit since the top of the 3rd inning.
And that was the single by Colby Halter. First and third situation that the Doors could not capitalize on. Strikeout, caught stealing, and then a ground out. They kind of let right-handed starter Matt Jasek off the hook, who pitched 2 more pretty good innings after that. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and inside. Straighten Factor up, and it's 2-2. So Fristow's had to work here, rather, to get these first couple outs here in the top of the 7th inning. The Doors have been seeing the ball fairly well off of him.
This would be pitch number 6 to Factor.
Fristow's already had to dab off that forehead with his jersey. Started out as a warm night here at Wareham. High 70s in the Mercury. 2-2. Swinging a pop fly foul out of play over towards the grandstands behind us, and the count stays at 2-2.
Almost bounced so high it actually almost went on top of the roof of the building located behind the goal post.
So Factor putting up a fight here with Brutcher at second and one down. Two and two the count on the Falmouth left fielder. 6-2 is your score. Wareham leads Falmouth here, top of the seventh inning at Spillane Field. 2-2 pitch is down low and inside. Good eye by Factor, and the count goes full.
What an at bat here by Factor. Gotta win it late in this game.
Factor does not have a multi-hit game yet this year. This is his 11th appearance for the Doors. Came into the day 3 for 28 at the plate. Already has a double. Drove in a run back in the second, and now the 3-2 is inside for ball 4. So Fristow again having trouble with his command, just as he did out at the Gov. He walks Factor with one out here in the top of the seventh, and there's runners at first and second for the top of the order, and that means Alex Mooney, he of the 2-run home run the last time these two teams played, is now back up at the plate.
8-pitch walk there, forced by Factor.
Mooney, who tore up the Gatemen last time out against them, with 2 hits, including 3 RBIs, takes down low for ball 1 in this at-bat. 1-0 the count. 4th plate appearance of the day. Righty-righty matchup between the righty Fristow and the right-handed hitting Mooney, who waits for this 1-0. Fristow now ready. He winds and deals. Swinging a ground ball sharply hit over towards us, and it's 1-1. You got to be alert here if you're going to stay at the perch at Spillane Field. We're trying our best up here above the visiting dugout, but got a righty at the plate who's pulling foul balls. Got to keep your eyes open. To Mooney gifting a souvenir. Now the count 1-1 with 1 out. Runners at first and second. The pitch, swing and a miss. Mooney had a big cut and came up empty. It's 1-2 on the Falmouth shortstop.
He took something off of that one as well. Righty on righty, wanted to go to the outside part of the plate. Got to defend here with 2 strikes.
Doors down by 4, 6-2 your score here at Wareham. Top of the 7th inning, 1 down. To 1-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Clark coming in underneath it a couple steps, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Soft can of corn off the bat of Mooney. And Anthony McKenzie rolling up to the plate now with 2 down and runners at first and second.
Hey, around the league, the Brewster Whitecaps defeated the Chatham Anglers 2-0. Katuitt Cavaliers defeated the Orleans Firebirds 3-2. The Harbor Hawks defeating the Bourne Braves 3-1. They're currently in the top of the 8th inning. And the YD Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners, YD on top over Harwich 1-0 at White House Field in the top of the 3rd.
How about Hyannis? Much more competitive this year than they have been the last 2 seasons.
That team ERA.
They win tonight, they'll be 7-5-3 and in second place. Swing and a miss by McKenzie on that first offering, and it's 0-1 from Fristow. Brutcher at second, Factor at first. 2 on, 2 out here, top of the 7th inning. Wareham leading Falmouth 6-2 after the Gatemen had a 5-run bottom of the 6th inning here at Spillane Field. Fristow's 0-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up on the left side. Padilla from short going out. Windish coming in. Windish calls him off to make the catch. And there's out number 3 to end the top of the 7th inning. The Doors get a hit. No runs, no errors, and they leave a pair. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Roden, Wright, and Clark, 4, 5, and 6 for Wareham coming up. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, you join us back at Spillane Field
Now batting.
here in the bottom of the 7th inning, where the Wareham Gatemen are trying to tack on to their 6-2 lead that they maintain over the Falmouth Commodores right now. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield stepping in for an inning of relief work of his own for Logan Safarenko, who's taking a step aside for at least a little bit. Ryan Slater still on the mound for the Doors, just delivered ball 1 to Alan Roden, the first baseman, batting left-handed against the righty. Slater now turns and fires. Softly tapped right side. It stays fair for Walsh, who had to wait for a hop and now tags the bag himself for out number 1. Had to backtrack a step or two to beat Roden to the bag, but that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Great footwork there by Jacob Walsh. You know, that's something he does at first base. That's something that doesn't really get talked about much. You know, we talk about Walsh's bat a lot, but something that really makes him stand out defensively is his ability to move laterally, trying to field plays at first base.
Slater turns and delivers the first pitch to Blake Wright. It's a swing and a line drive base hit up the middle. As Pinckney fields it, Wright makes his turn at first and now retreats. It's a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the 3rd time on base for Wareham's second baseman Blake Wright today. 2 singles and a walk to his credit, 2 runs scored. He's had his fingerprints all over this game today. He's been a pest at the plate. Reached the last inning off of Caleb Corbett, who saw 3 batters. All 3 of them reached and later scored. So he's now the losing pitcher in this game if the Doors do go down in defeat. Now Kellum Clark at the plate with a runner at first and 1 down. Slater on for his 2nd inning of relief work. Deals to him, and it's a swing and a foul back. 0-1 the count on the Wareham right fielder. So Slater came in after Corbett put those first 3 guys on base. Immediately gave up a 3-run home run to Ty Evans, struck out Brian Padilla, then 2 straight errors, sacrifice fly by Windish, scored a run, and then struck out Anderson to end that inning. As that pitch gets into Clark, a strike, and it's 0-2. So quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 on Clark, who's 1 for 1 today, but has been hit twice, so he's reached base all 3 times up to the plate today. Slater ready, and his 0-2 delivery. Fouled back, and the count stays at 0-2 with Wright at first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wareham leading the Commodores 6-2 on the strength of a 5-run bottom of the 6th inning. That saw 9 hitters come to the plate. 5 of them score on 3 hits and 2 Falmouth errors. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Clark, they appeal to third base, and he did hold up, says third base umpire Jeffrey Kinney. It's 1-2. The sun fully set here at Spillane Field. No longer are there patches of sunlight in the outfield. This game was moving right along through the first 5, but is slowed down. 1-2, there goes Wright. The pitch fouled off the plate by Clark. So Wright's gonna have to trot his way back to first base, and Clark is still alive at the plate.
Always surprising when the Gatemen are stealing, because they don't do it often. Never do you really see Wareham trying to swipe a bag, but when you do see it, it surprises you and makes you, or catches yourself off guard a little bit.
This league with teams that steal pretty frequently, but Wareham not one of them. They come into today with only 4 stolen bases as Clark fouls another back, and it's 1-2. So the difference between Wareham, last in the league with 4 stolen bases, and behind the next to last team, Harwich, by 6, and the Cotuit Cavaliers, who have stolen 37 times and been caught a dozen more, is pretty astronomical. This Gateman team is not one that runs. 1-2, the count still on Clark. Slater takes a breath and now deals. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing a slider down and in. And there's the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
That was a great spot. You know, that's the spot that Mike Hinojosa has been calling all night. And he knew it was there, but also a swing with it too. Why not? Give you some confidence.
If you hit the lower part of the zone with the fastball, just go a little lower with the slider and have it break. So Slater relying on that mid-80s slider with a lot of snap. Used it to good effect at Florida, and now the first pitch into Evans. He gets away from the catcher as Wright was taking off and gets there anyway. Cozart retrieves it from the backstop, but Wright into second base anyway. Wild pitch. Advances Wright to second base. And now Evans ahead in the count 1-0 with 2 down. Wareham up 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th. And a big part of that 4-run lead was Evans' last at bat, a 3-run homer he hit off of Slater in the bottom of the 6th. So now these two meet again. Slater's 1-0. Low and away from the right-handed bat, it's 2-0. So 2 Florida teammates squaring off a couple times in this game. Round 1 went to Evans in a big way. A long, no doubt home run down the left field line that made it 5-2. 2-0 delivery, swing and a miss. Slater had him swinging over the top of that slider, and it's 2-1. The lights finally on here at Spillane Field. They were off for a good chunk of this game. Slater's 2-1 delivery. Fouled off the plate, 2-2. So these 4 through 6 hitters for Wareham today have done a lot of damage. 5 of the 6 RBIs today from Roden, Wright, Clark, and Evans. Evans at the plate right now has himself a 4 RBI day already, an RBI single and the 3-run homer. Looking for more here with Wright at second base and 2 down. Slater deals, swing and a miss though, and that ends things in the bottom of the 7th. Evans goes down swinging, the second straight strikeout for Slater. As we head to the top of the 8th inning, Halter, Walsh, and Collins, 3, 4, and 5 for the Doors coming up in need of runs. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. Well, welcome back to Spillane Field, and before we get back to the action here in the top of the 8th, as a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's the 50 years of winning and 50 more. Colby Halter at the plate to start things here in the top of the 8th for the Commodores, trailing 6-2 against Wareham. First offering to him is a check swing up high for ball 1. From right-hander Jackson Fristow on for inning number 2 in relief. Came on at the top of the 7th, walked 1, but got the 3 requisite hitters out. The 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball snaps in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1 on Halter.
Nice job getting that read in there.
We were hustling. Halter lefty bat against the righty Fristow, who deals. Check swing again low. They appeal to third. And Jeffrey Kinney says no. Halter didn't go. 2-1 the count.
Joey Ryan warming up in the Falmouth bullpen.
Hard throwing right-hander. 2-1 delivery. High and away to Halter, who has been seeing the ball pretty well today. 2 for 3 so far, 2 singles. Drove in a run in the first. Just keeps on tacking on to those impressive stats he's accrued this summer. 3-1 pitch. No chance, down low for Fristow, and he walks Halter to lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning.
That's how you lead off an inning. Halter usually does that so in a fashion of base hits, but take base runners as we're getting into the last 6 outs for the Doors.
Third time on base today for Halter, 2 singles and a walk. So again, he's that spark plug in the top of the order, hitting third today. The Doors trying to mount a comeback here, down 4. They trail 6-2 here at Spillane Field against Wareham. Gatemen propelled by that 5-run bottom of the 6th inning that changed this game around. Fristow on the mound dealing with Jacob Walsh. His first pitch to the Falmouth first baseman is in for a strike, a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Halter over at first base can steal a bag. He's been caught once already today and probably won't be running down 4. But good speed, and now the 0-1. Fastball just missed the inside corner, and we've seen that pitch go by without being called a strike a couple times today, Logan.
Yeah, I'm kind of losing sight on what this dude's strike zone is, if I'm being honest, but got to take him.
1-1. This time does catch the zone at the knees. Got a little bit of a head shake from Walsh in that left-handed batter's box, but now he's back, swinging that bat back and forth.
Walsh did strike out on 3 straight pitches looking, so he's trying to figure it out up there too.
Fristow towing the rubber, now ready, hand in glove. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball further inside as Walsh had to jump back a step, and it's 2-2. Righty on the mound to the lefty batter. Corey Collins, another left-hander, is on deck. 2-2 in the count on Walsh. Halter at first, nobody down, top of the 8th, 2-2 in the dirt. Good stop by Burns, and the count full.
Very fine effort there as well to not chase that pitch. So easy to do that with 2 strikes just to stay alive.
So 3-2 the count on Walsh with Halter there over at first base. Fristow's got to be careful here. He turns and fires. Swinging a line drive. That'll get down into right center field. A base hit. Halter motoring for second, and he pulls up there. Walsh has himself a base hit. Second of the day. Halter gets to second, and runners at first and second now. Nobody down in the top of the 8th inning. The Doors have a little something cooking here, down 6-2.
Well, walks never result in good things for the pitching staff, but neither does letting the 2 runners get on via 1 walk and 1 hit. So we'll see if that's it for Fristow. They do have somebody warming up out there. Their bullpen is out of sight. Just saw I can only go off of a ball that just grazed over the top of the yellow line and went into a glove.
Now they're awfully secretive out there, aren't they?
There's a lot of those bullpen, including Gov Fuller's away bullpen. Falmouth Commodores' home bullpen is very appealing to the eye and very in sight. Not necessarily the away bullpen. And they're going to keep Fristow on.
Yeah, usually when there's going to be a pitching change, you see the manager, but Harvey Shapiro was not out there, and the infield didn't come in either. It was a meeting between Fristow and the Wareham catcher and the Gatemen pitching coach, it appears. With 2 on, nobody out. Halter at second, Walsh at first here in the top of the 8th inning. Falmouth down 6-2, so they have some work to do. Corey Collins at the plate, lefty bat against the righty Fristow, who turns and fires to Collins. It's inside for ball 1. So the Gatemen have got to be careful here with Fristow, a guy who did walk cross factor in his last inning of work and had serious control problems out of the Gov 3 days ago. Faced 3 batters, did not get any of them out. Hit 1, walked the 2 others, and then left the game without recording an out. Want to know the count on Collins, who calls time to adjust the gloves. So Frisco's got to wait a little longer here to try to squirm his way out of this jam. Now he's ready, looking back, Halter at second, and the 1-0. And fastball in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Collins today, 0 for 2. Hit into a double play in the first, walked in the third, struck out in the sixth. But could change this game around in a big way with one big swing right here. Fristo's 1-1. Swinging a foul right back. Collins on that one, and it's 1-2.
We saw this when there was a lot of foul balls back in the bottom of the 7th inning. I believe that was Clem Clark. Not really seeing a netting behind the on-deck circle on the third base side. So those foul balls are just as in play to the fans as they are to the players on the field.
Well, Collins staying alive, and now Fristo with a 1-2 count. The pitch in the dirt, good block by Burns, and neither runner advances. It's 2-2.
He went into the position that you usually see whenever the catchers do the drill, called the unfold. Just go right into it. Moving over to his right.
Collins has a double this summer to his credit, but that's his only extra base hit. No home runs so far with the Doors. Fristo's 2-2 offering. Fastball just missed. And now the Doors benefiting from some close calls at the plate. It's 3-2.
The Wareham fans letting Hinojosa hear it.
And some arms went up in surprise over there in the Wareham dugout. Payoff pitch to Collins. Swinging a foul back. So the Falmouth DH hitting in the number 5 spot, putting up a battle here. With runners at first and second and nobody down, this is a 4-run game. It's a one-swing contest. 6-2. The Gatemen lead the Doors here in the top of the 8th. But remember, we have seen some big innings from these teams. Falmouth had a 4-run inning at the Gov 3 nights ago. And the last time we were here at Spillane Field, the Doors had a 6-run inning, and the Gatemen had a 5-run ninth. 3-2. Fouled back again.
Going into that pitch, you mentioned the sixes. That was the 7th pitch of the at-bat. We had just seen 6 pitches in the at-bat. And also, you got 6 outs left to work with tonight. 6s all around.
Well, it's a key juncture in this game if the Doors are going to mount a comeback here and try to secure Jeff Trundy's 500th win on Cape Cod. But he'll have to beat a former Falmouth manager and Harvey Shapiro to do it. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a high pop fly, left side, windish, tracing over to his right, now stops, comes back the other way to make the catch for out number 1. And neither runner tags, and there's the first out here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, advantage Fristo. Was able to get him just to put the ball in play in a way that would not necessarily harm the Wareham lead. Now let's see what Pinckney can do. And now with runners at first and second, that ground ball double play is definitely something not only Fristo's thinking about, but all of the Wareham squad.
So Pinckney, hitting in the number 6 spot, now stands in. Runners at first and second, 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Falmouth trailing Wareham 6-2. Fristo on the mound, righty-righty matchup. He turns and delivers. First offering to Pinckney is in for a strike, a breaking ball at the knees, and it's 0-1. So Pinckney today 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, fly out. Now 4 for 31 at the plate on the summer. The 0-1. Swinging a sharply hit ground ball off of Fristo. It rolls slowly to right at second base, who collects and fires to first for the out. So perhaps a lucky break by Wareham. Couldn't tell if that ball was destined for center or a double play. But instead it's the second out here in the top of the 8th. And both runners move up. Halter to third, Walsh to second.
Well, now you just got to cash in at some point. You got a runner 90 feet away, and you got another runner in scoring position. So just get it into the outfield with the 2 outs in play. All the wheels are going to be turning for Walsh and Halter.
So unlucky there for Pinckney, who's now 0 for 4. Drew Brutcher at the plate with runners at second and third and 2 down. Fristo's first offering to him misses outside, and it's 1-0. So it was Brutcher who had that big blast out at Chatham. He scuffled a little bit with the bat this summer, but he didn't that day. had a long home run to right field that scored a pair. 1-0 pitch is down low, but in for a strike. It's 1-1.
You don't want that pitch. My goodness.
You know what that pitch called a strike, that's for sure. 1-1 the count on Brutcher. 2 down, runners at second and third. Halter at third, Walsh at second. 6-2 your score. 1-1, down low and in to Brutcher. And it's 2-1. Didn't offer at that one.
Need another one of those Drew Brutcher doubles as he had back in the 7th inning.
Brutcher's last time up in the last inning did have a leadoff double. Didn't come around to score. 2-1 from Fristow. Down low, good block by Burns, and neither runner can do anything, but it's now 3-1. So one more bad one from Fristow here, and the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Jacob Cozart. Lefty batting Brutcher against the righty Fristow, who's labored through this second inning of relief. His 3-1. Low and outside for ball 4. Brutcher walks. His second time on base in as many innings, and the bases are now loaded for Jacob Cozart, who comes to the plate representing the tying run in a 6-2 game with Wareham leading.
Need a little bit of that Wolfpack dog in him right now. Get something in the outfield, bring this game a little bit closer in striking distance.
Cozart so far this summer, no home runs. He had 4 at NC State this spring in 146 at-bats. First offering, a little bit off the plate, and it's 1-0.
Oh, the catcher Burns tried to pull that one back. Not so easy there.
We saw a lot of patience from the Wareham dugout with some wild hurlers on the mound our last time here, but with a lead this time, who knows how patient Harvey Shapiro is going to be. Bases loaded, 2 down, top of the 8th here. Falmouth down 4, but could tie things up here if Cozart gets a hold of one here at Spillane Field. Jackson Fristow, the right-hander, with a 1-0 count, deals. Check swing, and Cozart did go, frustrated with himself as that one skips to the backstop. But no advance by any runner, and the count 1-1.
The way that sounded, I didn't know if that was off the mitt of Burns or if that was indeed a check swing off the bat.
With
Indeed
no
it was
advance,
off
it
the bat.
had to be a foul ball. Yep. Cozart lefty bat against the righty Fristow, who is sweating this inning out. Walk, single walk, and the 1-1 off the plate. You see some uncomfortable shifting around with every pitch in the Wareham dugout. They want these strike calls, but it's been kind of an amorphous zone tonight for Mike Hinojosa behind the plate. 2-1 the count on Cozart. Fristow deals, swing and a pop-up back of the plate foul, and it's 2-2. So the Gatemen a strike away from getting out of this mess. Cozart, one meaty pitch away from tying this thing up. Fristow on the mound trying to get through this inning. He's been left out there, and now the 2-2. Swinging a line drive, base hit to right field. Halter comes in to score. Walsh now turns third. He's headed in, and he beats the throw easily. 2 RBI single by Jacob Cozart, and it's 6-4. Wareham still leads here in the top of the 8th.
You have to be happy with that. Not trying to send that ball over the fence, just get it into the outfield, bring it a little bit closer. And if I'm Harvey Shapiro, I've seen enough right now as he's walking out to potentially go grab Fristow.
Well, no doubt about it. Trademark sign of a pitcher whose day is done, with Shapiro now taking the ball from his embattled right-hander, who got through the first inning of relief in the 7th, got 3 flyouts while working around a walk, but not so lucky here in the top of the 8th inning. Walk, single, flyout, ground out, walk, and now a 2 RBI single for Jacob Cozart, who stands at first base. Brutcher to second. So runners at first and second, 2 down. Still the top of the 8th, and the Doors are trying to do it again to the Gatemen, who had leads in both of the first 2 contests they had against Falmouth and lost them both in both of those defeats. So we'll take a break here on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network, and we'll be back in just a moment.
We have a pitching change brought to you by
Welcome back to Spillane Field here in the top of the 8th inning, where the Doors have mounted a threat. Once trailing 6-2, they now trail 6-4 after an RBI single, 2 RBIs off the bat of Jacob Cozart, and Alex Galvin, right-hander now, new pitcher into the game for Wareham, to face off against Cross Factor, left-handed hitting outfielder with runners at first and second and 2 down. Galvin, big tall righty, deals. Swinging a foul back right off the brick building, and it's 0-1.
It shocks me that there's no netting right there. There's netting on the first base side. There is not 1 ounce of netting right by, and there's a building behind the field. Welcome to intimate baseball.
Galvin at 6'6", looking in at Factor, who's 1 for 2 today with an RBI double and a walk his last time up. 0-1. In for a strike, and it's 0-2.
What is this kid's fastball clocking in at? He's got some oomph with it.
Well, last summer with the Martha's Vineyard Sharks in the New England Collegiate Baseball League, he topped out at 96 miles an hour. So he's got a big frame, and he's got a lot of juice on that heater. But now he conferences halfway to the mound with his catcher Burns. Factor at the plate now in an 0-2 hole with 2 down. Top of the 8th inning, the Doors already have scored 2 in this inning. Cozart at first, Brutcher at second. And Factor trying to extend this thing. A base hit into the gap, back for extra bases, might tie things up with both guys going hard with 2 down. Galvin ready. He turns in the 0-2. Fouled back right off the building again.
Oh, man.
And it's 0-2.
right back to Galvin. And he doesn't even want to use the baseball. Probably got dented with the bricks.
Factors had to use all the mechanics in that swing to just try to get a piece of these fastballs. Galvin has come in firing heat. Pitched in 10 games at the University of Louisville this spring, 6.35 ERA, 13 strikeouts. And now the 0-2 on the way to Factor. Swing and a miss. Galvin ends the threat with a big punch out. And that ends the top of the 8th inning, but not before the Doors get 2 runs on 2 hits. It's 6-4 Gatemen as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Padilla, Burns, and Campos coming up 8-9-1 in the Wareham order. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, things are getting late out here at Spillane Field, at least as far as the Commodores are concerned. They trail 6-4, although they did just get back with 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning here against Wareham. Joey Ryan, new pitcher on the mound, right-hander, dealing with Brian Padilla, who takes inside for ball 1.
We need a little bit of opening day Chatham at Falmouth Joey Ryan. Not necessarily, not necessarily the lead the 9th inning off with walks and hit batsman at Katuitt Joey Ryan.
1-0 count on Padilla. Swinging a foul back, and it's 1-1. Ryan got the save for the first victory of the year for the Doors. They had that 0-3 start, then came back to the Gov after an off day.
Was that a 6-out save?
Took down the Chatham Anglers. I don't believe so. I think it was only 1 inning. A score of 5-4 that game. 1-1 pitch. And for a strike on Padilla, and it's 1-2. Padilla today, 1 for 3 so far. Infield single, double play, and a strikeout. Ryan, the right-hander, peering in. Now kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. He got Padilla chasing a fastball up at shoulder height and just blew him away. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning very quickly. And Peter Burns coming to the plate. We were told, Logan, that this is just the 3rd time all year that Falmouth has allowed more than 4 runs in a game, which seems pretty hard to believe. They did it opening day when they gave up 9 to Harwich, but since then they've tightened up. First offering to Burns is a little bit high, and it's 1-0. Burns today 0 for 3, now 3 for 19 at the plate on the summer.
You got to give credit to that right there. Being able to hold them to not that many runs.
1-0 is down low, 2-0. So we've talked in the past about how the Falmouth pitching for a lot of the season was in last place in terms of team ERA and runs allowed. They've since crept up the rankings with better play on the mound. But you look at the stats, they're not all that bad. They were only bad compared to other teams who were blanking everybody like Katuitt. 2-0 is inside, and it's 3-0. So when every team was struggling with the bats early on, you figure that someone's got to be in last place pitching-wise, even if their team ERA is around 3. Katuitt is still under 2, for example. The 3-0 delivery on Burns. Couldn't catch the bottom of the zone, and that's ball 4. First base runner allowed by Ryan, and it's a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order coming back around, starting with Ryan Campos.
First thing that comes to mind when you say the team ERA, Hyannis right now with around a 3.5 team ERA, and they've had a little bit of a different season than previous years, just simply because they aren't necessarily in last place in the Western Division.
Quite a turnaround for Hyannis, who finished last year in offense, pitching, and defense. They're much better this summer. First offering to Campos is a swing and a rocket fouled back, and it's 0-1. Speaking of the Harbor Hawks, we get them tomorrow out at Gov Fuller Field. The Doors return home to take on a Hyannis team that they've only played 1 time so far. It was on the road in a pretty tough loss.
We get to see
out in Hyannis.
We get to see Matt Talia's hair again, and we get to see Riku Nishida's awesome 2-strike batting stance again.
That's right. 0-1. Swinging a ground ball to second base. Nice play for Halter, who goes to short, but Mooney can't get it out of his glove in time. And there's out number 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Campos reaches on the fielder's choice.
Well, there go those hops again. Obviously, anything but routine, as you saw Anthony McKenzie kind of bobble it and flip it over. Looking around at the infield right now, it's pretty wet. I'm not necessarily sure if that has to do with the hops or anything, but they were soaking that thing up pretty good in pregame.
At the very least, it's meant some pretty uneven terrain today for these 2 infields. Falmouth has made a couple errors today from their infield. First offering on the way to Windish. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. So this is a big hitter here for Ryan to deal with. Keep things a 2-run game after the Doors just put up 2 in the top of the 8th. 6-4 is your score. Wareham leads here at Spillane Field, but Falmouth chipping away at it. The 0-1. Outside to the right-handed bat, and it's 1-1.
Well, I can tell you this right now. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the weather is nowhere near what it was like
Oh, yeah.
for the first time these two clubs met up on a Saturday night in week number 1. You're standing the whole game.
Ryan's 1-1. It's a swing and a sharply hit ground ball again to second. McKenzie fields it well, and it gets onto Walsh for out number 3. So that ends the bottom of the 8th inning. The Doors get through it. Scoreless first inning of relief from Joey Ryan. He gives up a 1-out walk, but nothing more. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. Mooney, McKenzie, and Halter. 1, 2, 3 in the Doors order, trying to come back in this thing. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Spillane Field, where the Falmouth Commodores are down to their final 3 outs in this game, trailing 6-4. The Doors got 2 runs back in the top of the 8th inning, but still trail by a pair against the Wareham Gatemen. And if they want to get win number 500 for Jeff Trundy, they've got to get 3 runs before they make 3 outs. And that challenge starts with Alex Mooney at the plate against right-hander Alex Galvin. And it's low, ball 1 to Mooney.
Force him to throw that off speed. He has the heat. Force him to throw that breaking ball.
Mooney today 1 for 4. Galvin rocking back and forth, now lowers his hands and deals. Just swinging a tapper up the first base side, foul. 1-1 the count on Mooney, who has to pace his way back to that right-handed batter's box. Falmouth trying to avoid an L today that would push them back to 5th place in the Western Division. Currently tied with Wareham for 4th place. Both teams with the same record, but the Doors are 2-0 against the Gatemen. There's your tiebreaker. Bourne in 3rd entering the day, Hyannis in 2nd, and Katuitt in another stratosphere up in 1st at 10-2-2. So Mooney at the plate, trying to start a rally here in this top of the 9th. Galvin takes a breath, now fires. Swing and a miss, fastball up high, and Mooney couldn't go get it. It's 1-2.
They've been great with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Got to be great with just 2 strikes here from Alex Mooney.
Mooney's going to have to fight with 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a chopper. Back of the mound. Padilla coming in, makes an off-balance throw. Got him. Finally done by Brian Padilla, the Wareham shortstop, who had to charge in a ball that bounced behind the pitcher's mound and make not an easy play to get Mooney at first base for out number 1 here in the top of the 9th.
And a non-traditional bobble by Roden over there at first. Luckily, he was able to hold on for the Wareham's sake. Falmouth down to their last 2 outs.
And Anthony McKenzie, the batter, switch hitter, batting left-handed against the righty Galvin. Galvin at 6'6", a native of Brielle, New Jersey, who's finished up his sophomore spring at Louisville, where he struck out 13 and 11 and a third, but was excellent last summer with the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. First pitch to McKenzie is a swing and a softly hit fly ball to left field. Windish right there for out number 2.
Boy, he loves catching it at the letters. Doesn't like getting underneath it. He likes just coming in, catching it as if it was a strike.
And the Doors have been hitting balls to left all day long. The 8th time that Windish has made a putout in this game over there in left field. And Colby Halter, the batter, with 2 outs and the bases empty, top of the 9th. Doors down by a pair. But if there's any guy you like to maybe scratch out an on-base appearance, it's Halter. As Galvin exhales and fires. Strike called, and it's 0-1 on Halter, who entered this day hitting .333, 10 for his first 30, and today is 2 for 3 with a walk. Red hot at the plate, 0-1 though. Down low, 1-1.
Boy, this kid is feeling it on the mound.
And Galvin was feeling it last summer too, out in the NECBL. 12 games, a 1.10 ERA in 16 1/3 innings, just 3 earned runs, 11 walks and 21 strikeouts for Martha's Vineyard. Now he's back on the Cape, just a short ferry ride away, the 1-1. Low, 2-1 the count on Halter.
Did the Sharks played the Cats in a scrimmage this year, did they not? I feel like they did on their first week of the season meeting each other.
I seem to remember that as well. 2-1. In for a strike, and now the Doors down to their final strike.
Big exhale there from the big righty to put some juice on that ball.
He's been breathing hard on the mound, but he's been throwing harder. 2-2, the count on Halter. And here's the pitch. Swinging a softly tapped ground ball to first base. Rodden had to wait for it. He makes the flip to Galvin covering, and that's your ball game. 6-4, the Gatemen pull it off. They use the power of a 5-run bottom of the 6th inning to propel themselves to their first win over the Commodores this season in 3 tries. And again, for the 3rd consecutive game, Jeff Trundy is denied his 500th win. He couldn't do it at YD, and he can't do it tonight. So we'll wait for tomorrow when we're back at Gov Fuller Field against Hyannis.
For a very, very long homestand and much needed. 6 days left in the work week, 2 road games. You got to use Gov Fuller to the advantage. Right off the comeback win on Saturday against the Gatemen. Flush this one, take away the 2-strike and 2-out hitting. It was a very good effort tonight in that category. The winning pitcher, Beneke for Wareham, the losing pitcher for Falmouth, Caleb Corbett, and the 4-out save goes to Alex Galvin. So that's all you can take away from this game. Doors trying to get back into the win column. 3 straight home games. Tomorrow they're going to have to do it against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow at Gov Fuller Field when the Doors take on Hyannis for the 2nd time this season, first time at the Gov. But again, the Doors fall today at Spillane Field. They cannot pull off the trick against the Wareham Gatemen, who prevail 6-4 in this game. This has been Carter Bainbridge along with Logan Safarenko. We thank you for tuning in to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. But for now, we're signing off, and we'll see you tomorrow night.